vault was, where you guys originally came from, is in the middle of a city. Can't remember the name. It was like Casvine or something like that. And it ended up when the raiders came and took it over. By that time, your vault had started the work on creating walls and defenses and stuff like that. So they've pretty much finished them. So there's like 3 main ways into this little city center where the vault is, and each one of them are heavily walled and guarded by some pretty hefty gates. So before you come upon these walls and gates, how are you going to what resource are you going to use to attack it? Are we going to use the plow, the tank, Draco's forces?
Well, I assume that they have some type of outer perimeter, which we can use the plow to open a door, basically.
Do you want to try and go through the gate or through a wall, or like a weakened point?
I mean, we just go right through the gate because that lets all the other vehicles through.
Yeah. Does everyone else agree with that? Okay. And let me look at my notes. There's one other thing. Okay, so before we start, as you guys are like gearing up to take off, we get a scene cut to Draco. You wake up in a one of those tracked jeeps that one of your guys have gotten back up, and you wake up in the back of one of these things.
Boys, why am I here?
He turns back and says, "I don't know, boss. He decided to take a nap out in the snow after talking to that kid."
Kid?
Yeah, you know, the weird one at the hood.
Yeah, you can see like Draco seems like he's misplaced or lost something. Can't remember.
Yeah, he looks like, "You okay, boss?"
Fine. We mobile yet?
Yeah, he looks around. He says, "Now we're about to head out now. Do you want to get on a skidoo or do you want to stay as a passenger?"
Do I look like a passenger princess to you?
Didn't think so. Your skidoo's hooked up to the back of the Jeep.
Red and Betsy all the way there.
Hey. And yeah, so I assume you climb out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you climb out, you start walking around, and as your hand goes to like grab the I forget what they're called, the throttle. Handlebars, the throttles. It cuts to Doc Boo, your character, like perfectly in sequence, grabbing a syringe off of like a table, and you're helping a particular person who has like their arm completely fucking just wrapped up in a cast. And they look at you and ask you, and you can just make up whatever response or whatever happens to this person as you want, but they ask you like, "So how long will I be before I can use my arm?"
So as an out of character, can I use my healing touch ability?
Yeah, if you wanna give even a higher narrative reason for why this goes well.
Well, I mean, it really depends on how this goes, right? So let's just do it and see what we get.
Are you using this in conjunction with the syringe that I said you picked up?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, neat.
So I guess I roll, right?
Yeah. Yep. Very nice.
And
So,
I think we decided that was because we modified it. I think that's a 2 heal if you want it to be.
Yes, which you could miraculously just heal this arm right now if you wanted to, but they'll know that there's something weird with you.
I don't think there's a big reason not to do that, is there?
Unless you're concerned about people knowing that you got some weird shit going on.
I don't think I care. There's lots of weirdness going on.
Yeah, fair enough. So you do it. What's the reply do you say to him after you do that?
Looks like you're all set. But I also now have to roll, what? Do I have to roll? I think I have to roll Acting Under Fire and open the brain.
No, just opening your brain.
I think that you had determined that if we were going to heal up to 2, that it has to be both. Am I confused?
Is that only on a partial success?
Oh, I see. On 10 plus, heal 1 segment, then on a 7-9 Acting Under Fire.
Do I remember you said I could heal up to 2 segments, but I had to roll them both?
Yes, I remember this now. So go ahead. You would do just opening your brain part.
Oh, well, that's my good one because I can roll. Okay, how does that work? I have to pick battle. Doop. Is it? It is. Sorry about my brain damage. Oh, 6 cents. Here you go.
Damn. Okay.
Well, that's the nice energy that this character has. Yay.
Yeah. So when you go to heal this person and like you say, you're all about good now. He like waves his arm and he's like, whoa, and like you remove like the foamed cast piece around his arm, and as he does that to go to stretch, he's doing that wind up thing with his arm. All of a sudden, you see like visions of snow, blood, smoke, screaming, gunfire, and you see you standing in the field with like would your character use a gun or melee?
Gun, shotgun, short range.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're like in the field, like turning a corner and shooting, and there's a couple people with you who are like, fervent. They seem to be on your side, but you look back and see too late of somebody winding their arm up and like throwing a grenade right at your group, and then you cut back to where you're standing in front of this person you just helped.
How's it feel?
Perfect. And he like closes his arm a couple times.
Outstanding. Get back out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, since those are both crits, this isn't the first person you've done this with. This is the first time you've got anything interesting happen, though. So as that person is, you see you like wiping your hands on like a towel, and it zooms in on your hands. We then shoot on over to Stukov, doing the same thing with like, except his are much more greasy. Maybe there's some blood stains. He like tosses the rag. Stukov, you just got done retuning the bus, and now you moved on over to the tank. After talking with Sasha for a short amount of time, that they mentioned the shells in the tank were a bit and you decided to take a look at them. So this is your opportunity to either leave the situation as is, or maybe improve or make things horribly worse for these 3 tank shells. Just as a reminder, there's a 1 in 3 chance of a tank shell being fired from this cannon, detonated immediately inside the tank, being a dud, or being exactly what it's supposed to be, which is a tank shell.
That sounded like 4 options.
What was the 4th? What would have been the first for you?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, yeah. You have a chance to make this situation better. Like, all of them are just tank shells, or nope, they're all duds, or they just all go off.
Sure, I'll try to make things better.
Yeah,
Look
so
at your
how are
hands
you
stack
doing
and
this?
close up.
You gonna be weird about it? You gonna be methodical about it? Be both? You could talk to him.
I'll probably be weird about it.
Okay, so you gonna talk to him first?
No, I don't have that skill.
Oh, right. Just reminds me that in the Expeditionary Force book, when the AI decided to enhance the missiles, so he gave them artificial intelligence, and then they created a union. You having trouble deciding what to roll, Andrew, or do you want me to help?
Having trouble deciding what to roll.
Right, so probably what makes the most sense in my mind is because you can use, let's see. So bone feel. I mean,
That's not a skill I have.
Oh, did you bracket the ones you have?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. So no, so I don't think I'll agree. Yeah, so you're just doing some normal moves. So I'd probably say, well, let's just do opening your brain as like a maelstrom, right? Because that's you said the approach you wanted to do.
Yee.
So we'll go there first.
Where do I find open? Oh, there it is.
Well, that was the open your brain part. The worst possible outcome.
That checks out. Of course, I roll them in.
The worst possible outcome is you realize that all 3 of these tank shells are VoIPed, like they're bad. There's something wrong with them.
I see. Their powder's expired and volatile.
Don't write it off so soon. So there's a guarantee that all 3 of these are bad, but that doesn't mean all 3 of them are equally bad. I will give you a negative one going forward, but if you wish to do some type of repair work, maybe you can get at least 1 working if you mix and match.
Sure. Mix and match ammo, why not?
Right. I think acting under fire is a pretty good thing here.
Really under pressure, but yeah, pretty close.
What's it? Do under fire, stay in Overwatch, but you roll weird instead of cool. Did you properly pick weird?
Yes.
Cool. Partial. You flinch, hesitate, or stall, the MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. I'll give you a hard bargain. You can get one of these tank shells paired, but you'll have to give up all of your barter, so you won't be able just to argue that you have parts to do something else with later.
I mean, I already have a junkyard full of raw materials, so sure.
Well, it's just currently on hand barter. Anything else you'd have to do, you'd have to spend like a scene doing.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Sure, I think I got 3 barter left.
All right. And we'll say part of that hard bargain is that tank shell is extra volatile.
Extra spicy.
So, Michelle, in your tank, you have one main battle tank cannon that can fire once, and it will do devastating effect with no roll.
All right.
So yeah, we see you like, you know, you're closing a hatch and you're turning around, and we see the 3 tank shells at your feet tore apart, and one sitting there gleaming. And as like you start to like lift it up, we notice that there's like a faint, like shadowy smoke emanating from the edge of it, and then that smoke, like it zooms in on that smoke, and then we see a cut to Shoop's character in the back of the one bus. I think it was a storage bus, and you see a shadowy wisp like emerging from the side of the bus right in front of you, Shoop, and it's the mass, and it you get this overwhelming sense of full.
Yeah, I'm very well aware of him being or it being satisfied for now.
Yeah, and as it turns to you, it flicks those memories at you of the things that you and Draco were talking about, and you just get the strong sense of, or it tells you keep.
After all, actually just think about the stories that he actually told them. I guess it's now mine.
Mm-hmm. So do you physically see that as your memory now, or is that more of it is yours as in you took it?
Mine as in taken.
Okay, so you're not delusional.
It's like if I actually start to think about it, it's almost like seeing a movie starts, but I can kind of see where stuff is.
Yeah, so there's currently a point, this is kind of the first time you've ever seen the mass completely content. It seems to have fed emotionally and physically from all of the slaughter that happened out in the fields.
Laughter.
Can you at least, am I able to see one guy that mass actually ate from, seeing where he is, just kind of watch? Because he just out of sight for me.
If we're talking about last time, if I remember correctly, that was somewhere near where Draco was, so you're probably pretty far from that now.
All right.
Oh, pretty far from it. Enough that it's just hard to see.
All right. I want to actually ask the mass of what are the memories like for you? He's speaking to Ed, not open.
Yeah, that sounds like we're trying to do something here. Sounds like we're trying to do something here. I think because it's satiated, I'm not going to make you roll act under fire. How about you just do an open your brain for me?
Gotcha.
Okay. You feel this overwhelming sense of infusion, and it starts flicking memories at you out of uncertain how to answer your inquiry, and you start getting random memories. A lot of them are all recent, right? Like from views and perception, like you see like it hopping through walls, like tearing through people in the original bunker that you were in. You see it on top of a guard tower, like jumping down and ripping out the throat of a guard. You see it hopping on a skidoo where one of Draco's guys like shot the dude off of the back, and the dude just started tailing ass away, and you can see from its perception it like running towards it at breakneck speeds, jumping on it and jumping into the person and then splattering them against the skidoo as the skidoo careens off. So you keep seeing these pretty vicious memories kind of imprinted back into you, and eventually you discover something odd. You get a memory, it's very faint and pretty quick, but you get a quick memory of something shorter than you. It's definitely you it's definitely whatever it is looking at you while you're looking out a window, and you hear a quick sound like something cracking, and then like a single crack noise, and then you cut back to your senses, and it just speaks to you and says, unknown, I don't know, confusion. Like it says a bunch of words, all meaning the same thing.
Should I realize I never actually asked you, but should I me to the math, should I give you a name? Do you want a name? That way, I know we've not introduced you to others. I don't know if you want that, but should I give you a name? Is there a name?
One moment. Oh, I got it. It just says, because you wrote a critical with a +2, it just says sister, and then it cuts. And we cut to, Sasha, your character is currently finishing checks on the tank, and you have 2 other individuals in the tank with you who are currently assigned to the tank. And you have Zukov in the back who's working on the loader. There's a choice that you could be made right now that if you would like to, there's not enough parts to do both. There's enough to do one. Would you prefer to get the better, another sheet? Because there's there's basically 2 manholes that are in this tank. One in the further front, one in the further back. You could install another heavy machine gun and have an additional person on inside your tank, or inside the tank, or I guess on the gun. Or you can install basically a protected track.
What's that?
Protected track would be they strip away the current track to put on the stuff that they got from one of the jeeps that had was very heavy armor and assaulting you, and basically would allow you to go through rubble and stuff like that without it slowing down, also without it taking the chance of possible damage.
I'll go with protection.
Okay, so you're gonna stick with the 1 MG. Okay, cool. There is a incident inside the tank where one of the characters, we'll just say his name is Blang. Belang is currently trying to work on a fuel line in the tank, and they end up there ends up being a loud bang, and the guy is yelling in agony, and you turn to see that the fuel valve line broke, and you quickly seal it, but you have a guy who's basically holding onto his arm and yelling. How do you handle a situation?
Really, I mean, I don't know. I guess I would read a sitch, or I assume we need a doctor, but maybe I need a...
Yeah, go for it. Okay, so go ahead and ask one of those.
I suppose those aren't particularly apt. I guess... Good job, Simon.
Good job, Simon.
I can't see anything. Is it locked up for me and you guys are seeing stuff?
Yep.
It did just 5 times?
More like 7. No, 8.
Okay. Refresh the client. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
You may need to use a different browser.
Yep. Anyway, you can ask one of those.
Could I adapt that for this? Escape route, or wait in, or what I should be on the lookout here? Maybe, should I immediately go get some help, or should I try to fix it right now myself?
I mean, again, you get one of those questions there.
What should I be on the lookout for?
Okay.
In this situation,
the fuel line already broke. That's gonna get repaired. But to get this guy out of here, he's gonna need medical treatment very quickly because he just got a quick exposure to radiation. So you need to not wait. You need to get him to Doc Boo right away.
But he's getting water.
Okay, the guy's dead now.
Is there anything I could do to, I'm getting him to the doctor, but I suppose something to help him on the way to the doctor? Or
yeah, there's a medical kit in this tank.
What kind of role would that be?
Act under fire, I believe.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, you're able to find some quick Radaway Rad-X. No, Rad-X wouldn't help. Radaway, whatever the Russian variant would be. And you inject that into him, and then I assume you're just getting him going?
You mean to the actual doctor or back to work?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you pull him out of the tank. Once the others realize what happened, they go to help you, and, as you run by, Zukov's standing there, You want to tell him about the tank, or do you just want to focus on getting the guy?
I think since I kind of stabilized the guy a little bit, I could ask, what would I talk to him about the tank for? Just like how it's going?
The fuel line broke.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, definitely. I would mention that.
Okay. So yeah, well, that's all the pieces I needed. So yeah, you stop quickly while the others carry off the guy to Dokbu, and you and Zukov head inside the tank and start doing repairs on the fuel line, get that fixed. And then we cut to the convoy starting up and moving. Now, since we said that you wanted to do the plow first, the plow's out in front. Draco, are you having your guys flank it?
What I imagine that we're going to use it for is that there's this big fuck off 4-lane wide plow, and we're going to use it as a giant battering ram. Everybody should be behind it.
Okay.
This thing is already expendable as it is. It's going to take damage. It's going to get wrecked when it opens the door, but everybody's going to use it as cover. The inevitable fire that's going to be coming from the place we're attacking.
Okay. All right. So, Simon, are you back yet?
Yep.
Cool. So we cut to we're starting to see the very glint of the forever winter sunrise on these white plains, and we see in the distance we see the glow on the edge of the horizon of once was a home for some of you, home city. And as the convoy starts rolling down the main road, we can see that from a distance, because you guys spent a little bit of time to take your time to get stuff going, you can see at a distance that we'll just call it the fortress. The fortress is currently active. There's searchlights going. There is, strangely, these weird light in the sky that seems to be panning around. Draco, you were who here was the called themselves originally a Vault Older? You had to be older folk to do it.
I think it was just me.
Oh, me too.
Okay. Draco and Dokbu, you would know that what's in the sky is a vertibird. You don't remember that being at the vault, so you have to assume the bandits somehow got a hold of that previously or after.
Is that some kind of tech or something?
A vertibird is basically you know what an osprey is? A helicopter?
It's like a
VTOL
helicopter.
Yeah, it's the osprey is basically a VTOL helicopter. That's what a vertibird is. It's a VTOL helicopter.
Not all helicopters are VTOL. You're thinking of an airplane.
Correct. Not all helicopters can do vertical. They can't all hover. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so this would be more. I guess it's a mix between a plane and a helicopter then.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because for it to get full propulsion, it actually bends the rotors forward.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. I know what you're talking about. I've just looked it up too, so I've got the pictures. These.
Gotcha.
I'm caught up. Thank you.
Yeah. So you and Draco know what that is. Everyone else probably is like, what flies? What even flies? So Draco and Doc, do you warn people what that thing is in the sky?
Yeah, I do. I get on my radio and I explain what the hell it is.
Okay.
I don't get the radio, but I'll say to the people who are next to me if they didn't catch it.
Yeah, one of those tells the radio or speaks over the radio about it. That particular machine is flying straight towards your convoy now, and you see it shooting off red flares as it comes towards your convoy on either side of it, left and right.
And what's
lighting
red
up.
flare to me?
It's just lighting up the zone. You were coming in under the cover of night. Now there's red flares everywhere.
Got it.
So, how do y'all want to deal with this vertibird, or do you want to deal with it at all? You guys are currently on approach. You're still about 7 minutes from the front gate.
Well, the way I would do this is I want to make sure people are healed, so I essentially ignore it.
Okay.
My guys aren't exactly armed with anti-aircraft weapons.
They are not.
Gosh, a bazooka go a long way though.
Yep. No bazookas in the arsenal.
That is
Machine guns.
freaking tragic.
Unless somebody wants to spend a barter, I'd say 2 barters worth. I'll say there's a bazooka or anti-aircraft, or just surface-to-air missile.
Modify grenade launcher. Airburst.
If you want to remove the grenade launcher and modify it, you would only need one barter. Anyone else got a barter that they can throw at it?
For what it's worth, a bazooka is a rocket-propelled grenade.
Yes.
Throw a barter at it.
Okay. So there happens to be enough barter. Okay, so Zukov, I believe there's a creating vehicle option. We'll probably have you roll that.
Delayed diffuse.
Let's see here. Is it creating vehicles, specialized vehicles? That's too in depth. It's not really a like create thing. That'd be kind of funny. Do seduce or manipulate the materials to get them going Should I think what move makes sense for you to be modifying this thing?
I imagine it'd be more modifying the rounds themselves.
Right, you're taking the grenade launcher off of its mounting, but still, it's the roll. I'm trying to think of what you need to do.
So there's creating vehicles, which this isn't, but it's a creating type thing.
Right, and if I go to that tab,
God, this system is so bizarre. Why?
It is a little bit whack.
okay.
Like
what we're
Ben
gonna do
says,
is-
if we play this in the future based on this, we might be happier.
So what we're gonna do, Andrew, is because there isn't one clearly laid out, I'll make shit up on my own. Are you gonna do a weird shit with this again, or are you just gonna straightforward, like sharp, making stuff work?
I think I'll just make stuff work.
Okay, let me look at your character real quick before you go ahead and roll, but I'm just gonna have you roll sharp as is, but give me 1 second. Zukov. I have a fun little idea. So we'll do that first. We'll do your thing. We'll do okay, so roll sharp. Okay. So you just do it. You create the thing, and I'll say you get an additional benefit. Whereas a partial would have been you create the thing, but there's a problem, and then failing would have been you fail. Don't work. So what additional benefit? You said you wanted to work on the timing. Do you want to like be able to proximity?
It's essentially an airburst fuse. Grenade, instead of detonating on impact, has a timed fuse on it.
Right. And how do you think about this? This is kind of neat. With Reality Fraying Edge, as you're like working your hand over the ammo, you want to do augury.
Sure.
If it's a good result, whoever uses the grenade launcher against the thing will get a positive. If it's a bad result, it'll be a negative.
Okay, well, I tried.
Yep, that's fine. So when somebody goes to you see it. You see this, not shadowy mask, like the mask, just like a figure, a silhouette, like holding up the grenade launcher and firing it at the vertibird as it passes by, and it's just like it flies up, goes past the rotor, and bursts and pebbles onto the thing, and then you see it happen 1 or 2 more times. Yeah. So how about you also pick one of those augury? That's just on a hit. By default, the effect lasts all night long. Attempt plus, choose 2, or choose 1. Okay, choose one of those ones at the bottom. Oh wait, no, it says, oh sorry, I misread. 7 and 9, choose 1. On a miss, whatever bad happens, your antenna takes a brunt of it. Okay, gotcha. So, I'll say the next time you go to roll augury, things are a little bit more weird and less vivid.
Okay.
Yeah, so who is gonna be so it has to be somebody. It's either you, Lydia's character, or actually yeah, you or Lydia's character's gotta use the grenade launcher. So would you like to give it a shot, Andrew?
Sure.
Or do you want Lydia's character to try?
She's been using the grenade launcher. Let her use it. Well, I suppose I did just modify it. I'll use it.
Okay. So
I'll hand her the machine gun if she needs someone to use.
right, so you go ahead. Like, how are you getting on top of the bus? You like going like just leaning outside one of the windows?
Picking out of one of the roof hatches.
Okay. Seems pretty straightforward to me, but I'd say going aggro. Yeah.
Exchange harm.
So I'll say you need
Going aggro seems more like intimidating.
Force your hand, they suck it up. Cave, do what you want. The problem is you gotta remember these are interpretive. So how about this? How about you roll go aggro, and no matter what, harm will be the harm rolls will happen. But this will determine the state of the vertibird more. You know, if you kill it, you kill it. But there you go. You get to choose. You force. They have to choose. Force your hand, suck it up, cave, and do what you want. So if I told you that they're gonna force your hand and they have to suck it up, What does that look like to a vertibird?
Push their hand and suck it up.
Yeah, they have. Go ahead.
Depends on their intent. If they intended to engage, they'd either have to. If they choose to force their hand and suck it up, they could choose to still engage, but they cannot avoid the grenade launcher airburst.
Okay, yeah, that's what happens. And I'm gonna say that you negate your -1. So go ahead and do the harm, because I was gonna take a -1 to their harm if you had rolled, but just so you offset that. So I guess we'll do harm, which is, what's your armor?
I think it's 1. Where do I see my armor? 1.
Okay. Yeah, they do 2 worth of damage on a strafe. And it has only 1 armor. And we established last session that the grenade launcher was 2. But since you modify this to be air burst, I'd say that instead of 2 harm, I'd say against air vehicles is 3 harm.
Wait.
So they take 3 harm, you take 1 harm.
I know there's a roll involved to do additional damage.
Yeah, I think it's where is it?
For a mounted grenade launcher, it's 4 harm. I don't know.
I'm not going with any specific rolls.
Single combat. There it is.
Single combat.
But first roll plus hard. So would that have been considered a preemptive strike, or would that have been considered initiating single combat?
Where's the single combat rolls? The tab
Under battle moves. It's a little further down under barter.
Found it. When you say no quarters, peripheral hard. No, the initial roll would have been going aggro, and I think if you decided to engage it again, it'd be single combat. You're focusing out you and the bus against the vertibird. Yeah, and since you're the only one who can really do anything to it, if you like, go ahead and first roll hard, and we'll see Marshall. Choose 1. You inflict terrible harm, or you suffer little harm.
I inflict terrible harm.
Okay, brings that up to 4. Okay, and exchanging harm, so you're gonna take 1 harm, and they're gonna blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me how this looks. There's at least you firing 3 grenade rounds, and this vertibird's coming. It's basically trying to race over the convoy and release flares on either side of the road, and you are on the back bus.
Take an initial risky volley. Like it's just barely within the range of the grenade launcher.
Mm-hmm.
And that initial volley first rocks them. And before I unleash the second volley, I adjust the time to fuse so that it'll detonate since they're closer. And then I just unleash a second volley, and before they can strafe the convoy, they blow up and sail over.
Yeah, like they get off like a small volley of bullets, and that's where you took your 2 harm, is that they lance out towards that back bus, cutting through.
They realize that back bus is suddenly a problem for them, and they focus.
Yep. So yeah, so we probably see from Doc's perception of, you have like 1 person you have to keep watch on. They're like really fucked up from we'll just say they're horribly burned. Not sure where that happened, but they're horribly burned. And like we see you like working on them and checking them over, and you just see like darkness, flares. You hear 3 thump thump thump, and then you hear 2 big bangs, and then a 3rd big bang, and then you see parts raining down from the sky, and then a wreckage slam like maybe 50, 80 feet out the window you're looking at, into the snow.
Sweet, we could use some more parts.
Are you making cyborgs?
Well, actually, I like to use the weird heal on all my patients, so no?
I like to add little Cthulhu's in every blood cell. You want the powerhouse of the cell mitochondria, wait till you see glutatoria. Anyway. Yeah, so, that scene done, we are now, Draco, your first objective, you guys are, like, we're gonna say you get the onus on the roll for the ram, and your people behind, and then the tank is behind that, and did you guys stay in line with the convoy, or did you go ahead a bit? Like, you're trying to eat the column, or you're trying, like, getting ahead so that way by the time you've pushed your way through this, barricade or whatever, that there's there's time for them to slow down if they need to, or you just want to go straight through.
Are you talking about like the plow and like what's immediately behind it?
Yes, well, we know you're immediately behind it, but what's immediately behind you?
My gang?
Okay, what's immediately behind your gang?
Well, the plow goes slower than everybody else. I'm assuming Sasha's going to be driving the tank, and that was leading the convoy. So, however far she decides, I mean, I'm not the boss of her. I'm the boss of these 30 idiots.
All right, Sasha, how far back are you staying from the initial plow and Draco's gang?
1 fireball radius.
60 feet.
Yep, 60 feet.
Oh, that's diameter. 30 feet.
Like, are we getting close? Like, can we see where we're heading to, or is it just so snowy? You can't
Yes,
really
at
tell?
this point, you know, on either side of your convoy, in different varying degrees of distance, there's these flares. So everything is bright red around you. Like there's this there's bright red dots all around you with this dim red glow, pretty much over the entire field on either side of your convoy. In front of you is this big fortress that has these walls. You can see kind of like city buildings and some dilapidated structures, and obviously signs from the initial like war and nuclear fallout. But you see like guard towers that are strafing like lights. All the lights are starting to point towards this road now. And these are big brick walls with like what appears to be a either wooden or partially wooden metal gate. And the plow is ahead of your convoy.
What kind of range do I have on that ultra shell?
You could hit a guard tower from here if you wish to. We'll say very long range, as long as it's aimed properly. You'll be doing the firing of the cannon, but there's a guy running it who's a little bit more savvy, so you'll get a +1 on that.
Okay. There's something about the shell where you said like it just automatically did something.
It's
Like,
Stukov ripped apart all of them, did something to them, and now it's extra spicy, but there's only one. He basically says, Andrew, what would your character say when Sasha's like, what did you do to the shell? Like, how would your character describe that?
here's what I wrote down for it anyway. Big shell.
Made one shell work, and it should work good.
Good. I guess since they know we're here, might as well say hello. I guess if I can fire it from behind here, I would. Otherwise, I would like pull aside the train. Oh.
So the initial plan was to use the plow to go through the gate. What are you shooting at?
Something that would be able to attack the gate area from, like, something that would be, guard tower. Like if there's one that would be, right next to the gate, basically.
Do they have any clear AT?
Yeah, there's no clear weapons that they have right now. But yeah, there is a guard tower. There's a guard tower flanking each of the sides of the gate.
Suppose I guess I could wait to see if there's like a bigger thing.
If you fire from this distance, I'll require a roll, but if you fire within effective distance, then you wouldn't.
Yeah, I guess I'll hold fire.
Say what?
I guess I'll hold fire to see.
Okay. So the initial question was, because you jokingly said 30 feet, but how far do you want the tank to be back from Draco's gang? The convoy's right behind you.
I guess I'd want to be able to. I don't know. I don't want to. Should I be a bit further away from the convoy and closer to the train plow?
I mean, if you want to do that, you can tell you're leading the convoy right now. So if you decide that you want the convoy to be further back from you and you be closer to the plow, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're following right up behind Draco's militia.
Yep.
Okay. And how far back is the convoy? Like a couple minutes? A minute?
I don't know, like maybe 15 seconds behind.
Okay. So Draco, with all being said, you ready to take down this gate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll set up the scene for you. So you start, the plow gets within range, and there's gunfire pinging off of it. We see because there's two trains this year, we see the one side that's got like the tactical sunroof is like flapping and slamming. And eventually, there is a rocket that is fired from the wall. Can you roll me act under fire as the plow? Unless you can think of another thing you could do with that. Your gang rules if your gang can do something too, you can apply that as well.
I'm trying to find where the hell the roll is. Basic move? Act under fire, yes it is.
Yeah.
I can't really think of much because the plow is meant to be there as cover and a battering ram. Once it's
Right.
through the gate, it's basically expended.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't care. Somebody else might have use for it. What is that? Cool.
Yes.
Act under fire. All right. That's it. Oh.
Yeah, so we are gonna go ahead and fortunately the plow doesn't have weapons, so it's just a suffer V harm. Let's see. Plus V harm suffer. So they take
And the harm suffered is the car's massive or handling, or the car's massive minus the defending car's massive or handling. Defender's choice.
right. So what it ends up being is that nothing on their side, all on our side. So go ahead and roll suffer V harm stuff.
I don't know what that is.
It's under harm.
Under harm rolls.
Bottom.
Okay, so I just roll that.
It would be
Suffer
V
V
harm
harm.
is established as attacking car's massive. So this would be minus the defending car. Well, there's no mass, so it would just be 0 car's massive or handling.
Do I click the button that is dice?
Yep, you could just click the button. Be fine.
Prompt.
It will ask him how much to add to it.
0.
Yeah, 0.
0, because it's not another vehicle. 7, you are forced to swerve. Your attackers choose 1. You give ground. You are driven off course or forced onto a new course. Your car takes 1 harm, armor piercing right to the transmission. I will say that third one. The train plow is now down to 1 HP. And your initial act on fire for the worst. So the worst was you took damage, and this thing is barely handled. Most certainly, once you ram this gate, this thing will be out of commission. There's not an impossibility that, because it's only got this little bit of HP left, that when you ram the gate, it might get stuck in the gate.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to that. So I think we just do use a vehicle as a weapon. When you're behind the wheel, you can sucker someone, go aggro on them, or make a battle move using your vehicle as a weapon. And you do roll the dice and make your choices, but your vehicle that inflicts and suffers harm, not yourself. Against a building or structure, a glancing hit from a moving vehicle inflicts 2 harm. A direct hit from a moving vehicle inflicts 3 harm. That's it. So what you're gonna do is pick sucker someone, go aggro, or another battle move that the plow is going to make towards the gate.
I think go aggro.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll.
Whoever's driving that's gonna be like, wait, that's me.
Yes. Instead of Chrome, it's fucking what is that thing that Sunset Sarsaparilla or something? I don't know. It's like fucking something worse.
Everybody just got a bunch of chewing tobacco.
Yeah, there we go. Just shoves the entire can into his mouth.
Critical success.
Very nice. Okay. So force your hand. So they have to choose. Force your hand and suck it up. Cave and do what you want. I think the gate doesn't want you to continue. It wants that vehicle down, but you get what you want. So force your hand and suck it up. So the plow goes straight through the gate and then careens off and slams into a barracks. It is completely out of commission, and their hand is forced because as it was going through, it made the guard towers on this left and right side unstable, and the people that were using the guard towers as a height advantage have now moved down to the main wall.
Oh yeah, now my skidoos are just gonna pour in after the plow.
Yep. So we see scenes of the skidoos pouring in from the side, and we cut to the convoy rolling through and in, and you see your guys gunning down dudes on the. Can you make a general roll real quick before we cut to someone else for your gang? Just like them fighting dudes.
Do you just want to go aggro again?
Yeah, go aggro and we'll do roll harm. Or well, not roll harm, but they'll suffer harm. Hey. So they have to choose. They know you guys are psycho fuckers, so they're not just gonna cave and do what you want. So they're gonna force your hand and suck it up. They're gonna lose many men, but you're gonna suffer some harm. So there's that roll. What is your gang? Your gang's armor's 2, right?
Yes, they are medium, 2 harm.
Yeah, they're blackguard. They're doing 2 harm, and they are a bigger force than you. How does that look again? That's right there. They are a large force. You're a medium force. How does it look? Plus 1 harm.
Plus 1 harm versus smaller, minus 1 harm versus larger per 1 size and C's difference.
So large versus medium would get plus 1 harm and armor.
So large versus medium would get plus 1 harm and armor. Okay. So they would actually deal 1 damage to your gang. What does your gang do for damage?
2? So I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, so that does 1 damage to them. So you both trade 1 harm. Both of you trade 1 harm. And yeah, so there's just like this initial slaughter. Dorsey levels of psychopaths just rolling in with skidoos, and we see as the Sasha's tank rolls through, crashes through like a small building, and drives over a small ruins with no problem. We see like a body get flung over the side of the wall that's being hanged, and we see multiple of Draco's men on the top of the wall, like holding their AKs in the sky as like the background shows the fire blooms of the processing plants for the fuel oil, and we hear the bus horns rev as the bus engines and the horns rev through the gate, and we cut to you, Sasha and Zhukov. So Sasha, you are currently in Zhukov, you get out of the bus. Do you carry the grenade launcher still? You just left it in somebody else's hands, or like I could say you gave Lydia's character, and she's not with you, the LMG. Did you just pick up like a normal gun, or do you have still have the grenade launcher?
I probably would have taken the grenade launcher with.
Okay. Yeah. So you're coming out into a clearing, and you're basically following Sasha's path. They've cut a hole through like the side of a building with just the tank. Like it'd be a cartoon style drawing of a tank silhouette of just like gone through it. And you're following up behind with like 2 other people in tow, and one of Draco's guys runs through the hole, like knives out, and like a random guard pops out from the side, and the Draco's dudes just jump on him and start knifing the shit out of him.
I'm going to kick you in the head until you're dead.
But yeah, and you pass by the 2 guys with you, AKs in hand. You round a corner, you see Sasha's LMG is gunning down a small position that's being held down, and you have first up what you want to do. There's in front of you in this courtyard, there is the position that Sasha's holding down right now with her gunner's LMG. There is a group that is starting to come from an alley behind the tank, and there's also a group who is trying to reinforce the one that's currently pinned down.
I'll cover the flank.
Okay. You notice that at this flank there is a current fuel oil line that is really close to these guys. The path they're taking.
Tempting.
You want to read a sitch to see if what the viability is that you can do that, or situations, or
Yeah, I'll just engage them normally.
okay, go. Let's do. It would probably be. I'd say, even though you're the 3 of you plus the small other group, I'd say it's single combat. It's your group versus their group, basically.
Yes.
So, because you want to cover the flank, meaning you don't want them to engage the tank from behind. So you're single combat.
Actually,
So,
I
go ahead.
believe there's another move for that. What the fuck?
Lay down fire.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. I'll see.
Or stand overwatch. What does stand overwatch do?
Kind of like holding action. If anyone attacks your ally, then you can attack them.
The reaction. It would be the reaction if they decide to do anything against the tank, then you would react.
Yes.
You want to do that instead?
Yes.
Lay down fire?
I will do that because I can use that with Spooky Intense. I can do that as a +3 as opposed to a -1, so we'll do that.
There you go. So that works. That's using your noodle.
Son of a bitch, this was my goddamn Ulma.
Whatever that means. Waiting for the roll.
Oh, they're actively doing the thing. Gotcha.
Right. There is a roll. There we go. Threshold. On a hit. I'm assuming what it means by on a hit, it means on a 9 or 7 to 9. That's warning your ally. +10 on a miss. Oh, partial. If anyone attacks or interferes with your ally, you attack them and inflict harm as established, as well as warning your ally.
It doesn't mention anything about exchanging harm, so I guess I just inflict harm?
Yes. So we can roll. We'll just roll the inflict.
If it's a group of people, and I'm using an explosive weapon, and they're coming out from a cramped quarter, can this affect multiple people?
Yes.
Perfect.
I'll say it reduces their size. Their size went from what was this? You were I will say single because like 3 people ain't much. From small, that you reduce their effectiveness by 1, so they are considered single target because they're so close together.
Sweet.
So armor and harm are equal across the board. But yeah, if you go ahead and the inflict. So what's your the damage on that we clarified was 3?
Yes.
It's 3 against air, 2 against normal. But you are harming a group and they're tightly packed. I'll say you have the +1 on the damage, so it's 3.
Awesome.
They have 1 armor. So that would deal 2 damage, which is 1 away from killing this group. So you fuck up quite a few of them. Tell me how that looks. Like we said, we have Allie, that they were coming in from the flank, and you and 2 other guys. What do you do to,
They're coming through the alley, where the one person up front recognizes the tank and begins focusing their attention on the tank. They don't notice the guy with the grenade launcher zeroing in on them.
Yep.
As a couple of grenades explode, one explodes near them, one explodes in their group.
Yeah. And the other 2 of your guys are with you. They're just laying down fire as well. So Sasha, you are protected and aware of a group flanking you, but your gunner is currently suppressing a group, and you can tell that there is another group that's going to reinforce them. Your main goal at the moment is to clear the courtyard.
Would I have any chance of just running them over?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Yes, there's a whole thing for that. Use your vehicle as a weapon, and it's like against a person, a glancing hit from a moving vehicle inflicts 2 harm, armor piercing. Direct hit from a moving vehicle inflicts 3 harm, armor piercing. So, sucker someone, go aggro, or make a battle mode.
Yeah, battle mode. I suck at hard though.
You get a +1 because you're a driver, combat driver.
Oh yeah, combat driver.
I think you have that installed in some of your stuff, didn't you? Like pre-baked in? You did.
Some of it is, but like some of it's dynamic. Like it depends on whether I'm using my vehicle or not.
Right. Well, you just add what it is.
Okay. Then I will do.
Yeah, when you use a vehicle as a weapon, you inflict +1 harm. When you inflict V harm, add +1 to your target's roll. When you suffer V harm, take -1 to your roll.
I think I'll do seize by force to. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then I'll just manually add the plus to it on whatever it rolls. How much plus do I have? Let me look at my tank. Equipment. Looking at it again. It has +2 harm when using it as a weapon. So that'd be 5, but then I also have
Yeah, you're gonna deal a lot of harm, but something bad's gonna happen.
the tank shell detonates. Yep.
No, you have to. A couple bad events would happen in a world for that. So
Like the first roll.
So exchanging harm, I don't believe they're gonna be able to hurt you, cause actually you did roll. Actually, let's do these complications.
I also suffer 1 less harm.
Yes, but I need to decide what's gonna happen here if we want to do. Choose 1 and exchange harm. So you inflict terrible harm, suffer a little harm. That doesn't seem correct. Doesn't seem correct that you can pick that. These feel like they're wrong. On a miss, choose 1. Oh, interesting. So seize by force, you still get to choose 1. Okay, pick one of those. You also have the variations as well.
I would like to assault a secure position, like force my way into their position.
Okay. I'm gonna say with the complication that they do an additional harm. How much armor do you have?
I have 2 armor, and my combat driver makes me take 1 less harm. So it'd be
Okay, so
effectively 3.
Effectively 3. Yeah, that would equalize it out. So there is a glancing hit that happens. Basically, what happens is you tell me. There's the concrete barrier that you're holding down with the machine gun, and then there's another group that's coming in from a side street. How are you assaulting a secure position? How does that look?
You said there's like a concrete barrier. Is that like a road barrier or like a tall wall?
It's like a road barrier, but because you have the protection of your treads, you could just go straight through it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I basically want them to have to either disperse or get run over.
Okay. And how much harm do you suffer on them?
I have +2 harm when I use, +2. So
And this definitely wasn't a direct hit, this was a glancing hit. So +2/+1 from your combat driver.
I think the +2 was taking into account combat driver.
So is the vehicle +2 harm for vehicle as weapon? So the vehicle's already doing +2. Or is that what you're saying, is that that's already included in that +2?
Yeah, because the ram spikes is +1 and the combat driver is +1, so +2.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that only deals 1 damage to them. And yeah, they back off from their position. You now have pushed them into the street, and they're firing at you. One of them gets a glancing hit with a grenade, but does no effect. Cutting back to Zukov, you have diminished the force in the alley to an actual single target, aka there's like 4 dudes left.
Cool. Keep firing, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Just what are you gonna do? Seize by force, single combat?
Let's see. Could bait a trap.
Sure, go for it. You want them to come out more in the clearing or run?
Oh, yeah, we forgot about those moves.
I'm assuming you're the cat in the situation.
Yeah, hold on.
Actually, be bait a trap or so hunt prey would be you're the cat. Bait a trap would be you're the bait.
I see. Gotcha.
Both are cool.
Except beta trap is part of my spooky intents. I suppose we'll just do single combat then.
Okay. Start first. Choose one. You are using a grenade launcher, so it might be a bit overkill with the +1 harm.
Yeah, I'll do the stuff for little harm.
Good choice. Yeah, so you deal 3 damage. Yeah, so tell me how, because they do 2 damage to you. What's your armor?
My armor is 1.
Okay, so you would suffer 1 less harm, so you take no harm.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you take no harm. So how does it look like when you take no harm with the 2 guys you have left, these 4 guys that have left? And since it's still combat, they got driven back, so they're back in the alley. So do you like chase them?
Yeah. We run them down.
Okay. Yeah. So do you just let your guys gun them down, or do you use the grenade launcher on these last 4 guys?
I let my guys gun them down. Grenades are
Yeah,
expensive, man.
Right. So we see you round the corner, point, and the 2 guys round the corner and just start gunning down the dudes in the back. We cut over to Sasha. So they are now. You see that the group in the street are rallying, and you see a dude pull out what you believe to be a rocket pellet grenade launcher, like a classic RPG. Muted.
I wonder if my LMG guy could shoot that guy before he gets the shot off, or should...
Yep, that would be.
Take out the AT.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Or maybe
I'd say-
shoot the RPG itself and cause it to explode on him.
No, that's too much.
Okay.
I mean, if you crit, sure, but prior to that, no.
I have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
So you're using a vehicle against a person, so we already established those rules. So you make a battle move. So I don't think this is seized by force, this would be single combat. And you'd be
Bait
rolling
a
with a
trap and wait for him
+1.
to fire and then shoot the rocket as it comes out. That would be way too risky.
All you're gonna do is cause yourself more harm. The system does not do well with intricate work. It's big, broad strokes narrative. Yeah, so I'd roll single combat. Hard, well, I guess, yeah, just roll it, because it'll roll hard first. And we'll see how that goes.
Wait, let me roll that?
Yes. Okay, you choose one. Inflict terrible harm, or you suffer little harm.
Well, ideally I'm taking that guy out before he actually gets the thing off, so I think I
That's not how that works. When you exchange harm, you are exchanging harm.
So there's no way for me to stop him from shooting the rocket.
Nope, not with this system.
I could go aggro and force their hand.
That is true.
Like I explicitly wanted to not let him get it off, but
You could remove, or you could use the force their hand to remove the RPG as a weapon.
Yeah, because you were talking about shooting them. So tell me how you would, you just charge it with the tank, and that's what would be going aggro before they get a chance to shoot it off instead.
yeah.
Yeah, it's how you set yourself up narratively. Because if you're like, oh, I'm in charge, okay, you want to knock them off, then go aggro. So yeah, then go ahead and instead just go ahead and we'll take that roll you had, but we'll look at the rolls for go aggro. So they can choose one of the above or one of the following. Get the hell out of your way, barricade themselves securely in, give you something you think you want, so tell you what to hear, cough calmly where hands can see them, because that works well with a tank. Force your hand and suck it up, cave and do what you want. I think they're going to get the hell out of the way. Yeah, so you, for the moment, you ram the group and they don't suffer any harm. But the group is like starting to come around you. We'll say for the moment, the RPG is currently out of commission, and you have about a round of attacking and free play before it becomes active again.
All right. In this time, would anyone else have come into the space?
No, there's like chaos. Like there's Draco's guys like occasionally taking pot shots at these guys. Like it's a big active war scene.
They're all preoccupied outside the gates.
Yep. When I do a scene, it's just you guys, or I say it is. So.
Okay. Could I ask Psychic Maelstrom for advice?
That would use up your time, but yes.
But what if? Okay.
With the RPG out of commission, I'd just exchange harm for single combat.
Yeah, with my 0. But if I'm using the tank, it's different though.
Or yeah, using the tank as a weapon. I forgot. You can do that.
If you tank is up and you have pluses, that's the point.
Yep, I can do single combat with the tank, then I'll do that.
You got a few options. You got your ramming spikes, you got the machine gun, you got the tank cannon.
The machine gun is at a +1 because you have 2 gunners who are capable. They have +1 to their hard.
Right. Yep, I'll do single combat with my... So I get like +2 on that roll, or is that just the harm that they'd suffer?
That's just the harm they would suffer. Okay, so that's a... Do you want to suffer little harm or inflict terrible harm? It's a pretty big group around you, about medium size.
Inflict terrible harm.
Okay. Is there a difference between using a tank versus a group, a gang, or is it just the same? Using a vehicle as a weapon, does it say anything about a gang? Another vehicle, another structure? I don't think so.
The only thing is like, does a gang hold together if it has like different leaders present versus harm?
Yeah, they have 1 leader.
Or are they a weak leader?
I mean, you haven't rolled a critical to make that a narrative possibility at the moment. So using a gang as a weapon, they just talk about size. However, if there's a size mismatch. Okay, so if yours is massive, right? We're gonna count the tank as large. So large versus medium. So you have a +1 harm, +1 armor against these guys. So go ahead and let's do when an NPC takes harm. No, that's some. Oh, does the gang hold together? Okay, I see. Good to know. Anyway, okay, so the harm moves. How much armor does your tank have with the +1? 3?
3, yeah.
Okay, they only do 2 damage, so they can't do anything to you. And how much damage do you do to them? You have with the +1?
I get +3.
Okay, they have 1 armor. That deals 2 damage. Yeah, they have at least a leader is weak or absent. So I'd say they have a 3 harm gang. Yeah, so they're intact still. So the next round comes up again, and you need to roll. If you want to stop the RPG from attacking again, you're up to go aggro again, or act under fire. It's also another option. You're muted.
Could I hunt prey on the RPG guy and like basically get him like backed into a corner so he can't run away?
Well, in this case, if you hunt him, he'll die, and I will.
Right.
Yeah. But if you can get a partial, I'd say that you probably end up killing the guy, but we'll see. So if you want to do that, nice. So that is you hit and catch your prey out. Yeah. So you just run over the RPG guy. You spin the treads around. You run him over. That doesn't deal harm to the gang, but it removes him.
And it doesn't detonate the RPG.
Yeah.
The RPG's got an arming system that'll only arm it after it's launched out of the tube.
Yep.
Yeah, but in video games, everything explodes.
Yep. Okay, cool. So now, do you want to do single combat again, or do you want to try and intimidate, make them run?
Could I get them to, like you said, everyone's extremely busy outside the gates, or could I get them to run into like the meat grinder that is waiting outside?
You could do bait a trap and get them to follow you. You could go aggro to scare them. Like you could drive through their gang and then turn around and drive at them, forcing them to run again. Like there's options. Just tell me what it narratively looks like, and I'll tell you a roll that it matches.
I'd like to hunt prey again, basically direct them. It's our other teammates and allies.
So you've driven them first to a place of your choosing. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll. Okay, critical, yeah. So what ends up happening, you can tell me how this looks narratively, but there's about 15 or 16 guys, and you go, you run straight through them. They all get out of the way, and they all just start booking it towards the initial gate. So between Stukov and Draco, what does this look like when a group of 15 unfortunate guardsmen are caught out by the two of your hammer and anvil approach?
I assume they're running scared too.
Half of them at least.
I can imagine my guys starting to like pick them off one by one. Anybody that's dragging us too far away, the lassos just start dragging them through the complex.
Okay. So they're picking up one by one. And Stukov, what are you and your two guys doing to finish off this group or scare them completely away and break up?
I'll have my group focus on the guys who are continuing to engage.
Okay, so you're picking up the ones who decided not to run?
Yes.
Yeah, combination of so we see, a tank drives through their group, they move out of the way, they all get up and like, fuck that, and there's like 3 or 4 that are just like, one runs towards the RPG and they just get shot in the head as you see one of Stukov's men like take aim and fire, and then we cut to the other like 10 or so like running around the corner of the building, and there's like 5 of Draco's men, one like with a lasso like spinning and the other 4 with like varying guns, and they just all get shot down. One gets lassoed, another one falls down with like a bullet to the knee and gets kicked in the mouth, and then the last 2 that are trying to fight the tank, one tries to run around the corner and Zukov's men picks him off, and then we see the last one like standing in front of the tank, and it's like Tiananmen Square, except the tank just drove over the person.
Brilliant.
So now we cut to the weird part. Now it is 7 real quick. Is everyone still good to go for 1 more hour?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Cool. So we cut to a familiar scene. Doc Boo, you and 6 other people. These are people who have, as the course of this, like, you've been kind of like, you're staying a little bit behind, right? Like, you're not trying to be frontlining. And you have a group of people that ever since the bus crash and the fire, you've really gained a lot of popularity, and people really seem to like care about your existence to the point of like body shielding you. We maybe see a couple scenes where like you and your group are running through and running and gunning, and one dude takes a bullet for you and like you heal him, like just like grab the wound and like heal it. And you find you are currently like, there's a pitched battle. Draco's like skidoos are flying by, like going crazy and dragging somebody, and you hear gunfire, and your group is currently taking a breather from the fight, and you're in an alley, and you get a quick memory of remembering the dude rolling his shoulder after you heal it. Would you like to act on that information?
For some reason, I'm not quite connecting the dots. What's my takeaway from that quick memory?
Remember the information you got from the guy rolling his shoulders, that you saw a dude who was hiding in the alley behind you, about to throw a grenade at your group? And in the vision, you were too late.
Okay, so with that in mind, what is Doc Boo's assessment, assuming he has that skill set, of what would be the best way to avoid that potential problem?
You tell me, and the narrative will follow it.
Sounds like it might be Rita Sitch.
Is it though? Because it sounds like I already know what the situation is.
Yeah, he does know what the situation's gonna be. So you tell me how Doc and his group handle one lone grenader.
Okay, well, I'll just say to the group, there's a guy right over there with a grenade.
Grenadier,
yeah. So is it like the dude like pokes his head out, like we see the camera of him poking his head out like, oh, I'm gonna get these guys, and the moment he actually like steps out from the side, he just gets fucking shot down cartoon style by like 80 guns?
So something along those lines, yeah. It's like Doc Boo says there's a guy right over there. My group looks. They don't see anybody, but they believe that Doc Boo saw something, so they prepare themselves. The guy steps out to do his thing, and then they take care of business before he can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, he's done for the count. And moving on from there, you as your group progresses, you actually encounter you go into like a small building where you could hear the sounds of distraught people, and you follow the voice, and you arrive inside, and there's like a small group of people who obviously are enslaved or bothered. One of them is pretty badly injured. Like they're laying on the ground, not breathing, and there's like 3 people surrounding them, and they're looking up at you, terrified.
So we have no idea if these are friends or foe. Is that the story?
Yeah, they appear to be slaves, or appear to be like they're not guards for sure. Sure, you don't know if they're citizens or whatever.
So they could be just innocent bystanders. Is that what they seem to be?
Yeah. Can you give me? Can you read a cinch?
I can do that. Let me find the button.
There are many buttons.
I thought I had that in my hot sheet, but maybe I don't.
It's basic moves. Second from the top.
You said second from the top?
Yeah,
there it is.
Here you go. Very nice. Go ahead and I'm gonna say
That's a nice roll.
you get to.
Oh, yeah.
You get to. I've only really got a couple things to say about this, so we're gonna say you get to hold one of these for later. Like any point in the near future in this whole scene of yours, you could just be like, you want to ask one of those questions, you can. But for right now, ask 2.
Yeah, my poor little hamster, my brain is spinning hard. What should I be on the lookout for? What enemy is the biggest threat? Let's do 1, so just take the first.
Yeah, so, oh wait, say that again? You said take 1, take the first? What?
What should I be on the lookout for? It's the first question he asked.
Yeah, you said I can ask 2, but I can save 1 for later. So I'm going to go with the one I do now is what should I be on the lookout for?
Oh, okay, you're not asking for both, you just wanted to say just that one for now. Okay, so yeah. Currently, obviously the guards, there's part of you that has this like both intuition and also this like, you know, the weird nature of the maelstrom that keeps dogging at the back of your head, that there's something else, just it seems too easy, too weird, something's just not quite right. And you end up you get that sensation that there's just something else off, that you aren't really sure what should be the main problem. But the moment it's the guards, also Draco's men, they're a little fucking crazy. They're actually, judging by the injury that there's on this person, you believe he might have been in the crosshairs of one of Draco's men at some point.
Okay, let me trigger my second question. This was what's the biggest threat?
The biggest threat is unknown, but I'm not gonna be a dick about it. I'm gonna give you at least something.
You can just tell me, ask a different question. That's legit.
Yeah, I'd say you deserve to actually have a real question you can answer. Pick a different one.
Who's in control here?
Currently, you guys, not just your group, but like your rebellion. There is constant chaos. People are on the run. Your current sector's still, this current section you're currently working with is a little rough, but at the moment, you guys seem to be in control. Like things are going your way.
I would like to squat down, touch the injured individual, and attempt to healing touch them.
Yeah, go for it.
That's terrible. Oh well.
First, you don't heal them. Second, you've opened your brain, so do that. Without protection or, oh, nice. On a crit fail to a success, gives you good detail. Without protection or preparation, for you and your PC patient, or oh, that's if it's for a PC. For an NPC patient, their experience and fate is up to the MC. Yeah, so you go to reach out, right? And they're dead.
Can't save everybody.
Yeah, they're like flat out dead. But the moment you touch them, there's this like whiplash. Before you know how I said like, oh, there was something nearby that kept drawing your kind of fucking with you.
I do.
You feel 2 of those now. And you said you were you were a kid in the vault, right?
Correct.
We're just gonna say you currently have a little bit of your bearings. Roughly in the direction of the vault is the other one. And the other one that's is really close by, like right outside the door.
And this is different than the other thing that was messing with me, or the same?
They both feel identical.
So like I've seen this thing a couple times, right?
You've seen the one, yes.
Okay. And I don't have any defense against this thing at all so far.
As far as you know, not at the moment.
Okay, well, shoot.
Speaking of Shoop, how does your character walk through a conflict zone and arrive in a dilapidated building with some of your quote-unquote comrades?
Part of me I'm not sure if the other guards or people explained what they were actually doing, so I have no real clue what's going on, but
And your character knows that there's a revolution going on and they're here to take back the vault. You don't know what that is.
Okay, yes. Kind of same as what I said is I just don't really know what's going on. To see if there's I at least managed to help out with the ambush. I want to actually see the area. Take a look in the other. Do a research, or could I open my brain to be on the other side, like I had done the other time?
Sure. I'm gonna say because of all of the emotional chaos, you reaching in might be worse for you, but it would be an effective use your abilities.
Well, I'm
It's
gonna
just
do
more
that.
dangerous to do it. It's just more dangerous to do it when there's this much shit going on.
I think before I actually open my brain, I'll ask the mass to be willing to protect me while I look through. Essentially asking the mass to do barrier on me.
Okay. Go ahead and go ahead and. I'll say narratively you have a little.
I could just click it. Just to let.
Yeah.
So just as like protection right now, but my brain. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we'll say a combination of the barrier and your crit. You need not worry. What information are you specifically looking for?
Last time I seen out of sight for everyone the ambush that was happening. I want to see if there's something that how people aren't actually noticing in the area. See if there's something to me that feels weird that no one else is actually seeing.
Yeah, there's
Something that should be there.
to the northeast. You can see in the Psychic Maelstrom like a beacon, and it directly attaches. It is directly attached with a thin line of shadow to your mass to it, and you can tell that every time it pulses, all of the like human-y people around you seem to be affected by it in some small way. Like either if they have fear, it's worse. If they have anger, it's deeper, it's rage. If they have, excitement, it's just ecstatic joy. Like people are currently higher emotionally inclined.
I'm literally seeing like an emotional spectrum and how it's affecting each one.
Yes.
I asked the mass, should I after that? Is it hindering it?
It walks through the door that you're standing near, and it says "not alone," and you get the sense to open the door.
I'm gonna go and open the door.
Yeah, Doc Blue, because like you were just coming out of it, like, oh, that thing is nearby again. Great, and you turn to where it was, like where it was nearby at the door, and you see for like a split second that thing come through from the door as it's closed, and then all of a sudden the door opens and that kid is there.
That checks out.
So yeah, you two are in a war zone. You have a couple frightened people next to you, Doc Blue. You have your 6 people with you. One of the people turns and says, "Hey, what the hell is that kid doing here?"
Don't think about it.
He trusts you fully. He's like, okay, not worrying about it. Yeah, Shoop on the other side of the door is Doc Blue and his little entourage, and like 2 people that are cowering next to a what you're pretty sure is a dead body.
Still don't have my brain actually like opened up. I'm actually just seeing plain.
Yeah, basically think of it like this really cool cinematic shot where you're like, like you were like, it goes all black scale, right? Like the nav mesh disappears and all the bitmap, and it's just like you're seeing just the people, like you're wall hacking, and you're seeing like heightened emotions and like seeing the pulse, and you see the thin tether, like the mask goes from being like black shadow to white shadow, and you see the beacon, and like you see a door appear in front of you, and then the mask says, "not alone." As it walks through the door, you go to grab the door handle and just like open it, and you're like back in reality. But oops, there goes gravity. Anyway.
I at least recall. All right, the other siblings, they had like I was able to see their face, right?
Sibling? You mean
the others that were consumed, taken by the mask?
Oh, the ones from the facility.
Yes.
Yeah, you vaguely remember them.
Can I see any of their faces in the vehicle?
In the vehicle. Explain.
Or where they're at, I opened in, I see all the people, see the doc. Do I see anyone in here that I can see their face?
No. You just know that that's Doc from like the rough outline.
Okay. I was somehow thinking of, is there like another one that leaked in, thinking I could actually see their face and instantly go, oh, you. All right, that answers that. I'll look at Doc and go, let me think here. Oh, I'll just look at the doc and go, do you feel something weird?
Frequently. Frequently. Why do you ask?
Like you're not alone.
Yes.
The people around Doc were like, what the fuck? Yeah, we're right here.
Just not even actually looking at them.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Doc Boo is right there with your conversation.
I'm just wondering of how to actually relay, because I still haven't even actually done a proper introduction of the mass.
No.
Actually, Michelle actually did message something right. I'd like to actually hold my hand and
Oh, psychic. Yeah, I should.
I would like to. I want to do. All right, what I need to do in brain to actually do like a private talk, or could I possibly do the imprint on me that I have?
I'd say, let me look at it. I'd almost say because of the interactions with you and Simon's character prior, I don't think this is going to be an issue. Yeah, you want to do the imprint?
Part of me does.
Go for it.
All right.
Fascinating. Hey, are you directing this at Doc?
Yeah. Is it possible I could try to describe on how this goes?
Yes. I didn't quantify. Are you using that heal 1 for yourself or?
I have no harm on me, but
Yeah, no, it's heat.
Use it on the dead corpse.
Use it on the
I tried. If there's anyone right nearby where I could just do like a small wave to like
Yeah, we'll say
pass on
one of
the
Doc's.
vibes.
We'll say one of Doc's people's just slightly hurt. It wasn't enough for him to bother him with.
All right. So
Yeah, tell me how this looks.
So since Doc has at least seen bits of the mask here and there, me still standing in like the doorway.
Quick, do you want to roll the seducer manipulate first and then describe what happens? In the off chance this goes horribly wrong?
I'll actually do that, and I actually get to roll it as weird instead.
Yes.
Let's see here. Nope, that's just that. Can I? Instead of a -1, that is a +5. So that would be a 7. That would be a 12.
Oh, okay. So,
I'll need to figure out how to actually be able to change every time I roll.
they go along with you unless you, until some factor action betrays the reason you gave them, and they will go along with you. Let's say do both. What do you mean by that?
PC's both 7-9.
If you go in and you edit the move or the move itself, you can change the stat that it runs off of.
Yeah, I'll modify that.
Both means that you don't choose one of those options, you get both of those options.
Hey, so you'd be getting experience for you're doing that.
Right, but they're saying both the 7 and 9 and 10 option? Am I missing something?
No, you have 2 choices, but you don't make a choice, you do both for a 10 plus.
Oh, I'm dumb. I just realized that those, okay, I see. If they go along with you, they mark experience. If they refuse, erase one of their stat highs or into the session. That'll be an EX -1. But that's still weird because it would be both.
I think it's if they refuse, and I'm doing this more so as like another form of communication.
Right, I'm just curious what it means by both. I don't see where you get another thing. What's the both option?
The bullets. Option 1, option 2.
Oh, wait, so it's saying that they go along with you in game mark experience, but they also, one of their stats is highlighted?
If they refuse. So
But that's what I'm saying, is that I'm confused. They can't both go with you and both refuse.
Well, they make a choice because it's a player, but like if they would have to pick, you're basically betting heads or tails what the other player's gonna pick. If you didn't have both, you'd be betting on a coin flip.
Oh, I feel like this should be, I hate how this is worded. I think how it should read is on a 10 plus, Stoop chooses one or the other, and on a 7 and 9, Simon's character would pick one or the other.
Are you asking me to pick something?
No, I'm just annoyed with this writing.
yeah, the writing of this is a little bit weird.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna override this so we can get this moving on. We're gonna double up on this. Firstly, what are you are like mental or otherwise? You're asking Simon's character Doc Boo to come with you to the vault, correct? To the beacon.
Yeah.
Okay. So real quick, Doc Boo, do you refuse or do you come with?
No, just to clarify, this isn't the kid, right?
No, this is the kid standing in front of you.
I
This is the evil child?
Yes.
Misunderstood. As far as I know, misunderstood.
Okay, put the request into words again, whatever it is, whatever form it's in.
So I see you. I know there's like a bit of a pull that I have with you, or the thing has with you. And part of me right now is I was going to do like a mental, open brain conversation with you, but also going to be like, I want you to come with for this. I'll have to, or part of it, show you of what I am actually seeing, the pull, the emotions of everyone, and the beacon.
Yeah, so everything I described to Shoop that he saw when he was looking around in emotions, now you just see.
So if I do, is there any chance it'll help you get out of my head and out of my way?
Mm-hmm. Part of me, are we able to like talk to each other? No one else actually is hearing this. We're like,
Yeah, I'll say for the goofy, weird brainness, everything else is frozen and you two are standing there talking. Like there's snowflakes that are like held in suspension in between you.
I don't know everything. I know you can see it, and I'm trying to understand things too. I don't mean to hurt anyone, or I know the guy who told me about like the cowboys and such. He gotten tired, but he's okay now, I think. But I'm just trying to find out who I am, what's going on.
Take that as a no. Keep trying. Let's go have a look at what you want me to see.
So I'll have to roll then just be like, all right, kind of start figuring out how to get to the beacon then. And that person's better at taking you away.
Yeah, so you cut back to the snow's moving around and everyone's just like, hey Doc, what we doing here?
Gonna go have a look at something with the kid.
Okay. And then all of a sudden you hear one of the guys say, huh, my knee's better. Is that you,
Nice.
Doc?
Not this time.
He like rubs his head as a couple bullets crack out nearby. Yeah, so he jot one. What's the letter on that ability you used?
The letter?
Yeah.
C.
Okay. So you two, you two and your small little entourage of 6 people, Doc and Milo, you weave your way through the streets and you slowly get closer. Milo, the mass tells you to listen.
I'm going to assume that I need to open my brain.
And as a result, Doc, can you open your brain?
I think that's a thing I can do. I just gotta find the button.
I think it's basic move. I remember. No, you found it.
Yeah, and I got a crit.
I will be back.
I maxed it.
You got a crit. Okay, we'll do Simon's first because that's funny. You already know all there is to know. The MC. So Doc Boo, you're like, you guys are, there's a couple little gunfights here and there. You occasionally see the mast like appear and like rip a guy's head off, or there's like a gun turret and you guys are pinned down and all of a sudden the gun turret goes dark and the kid just starts walking out. And it's been like that for a couple like blocks now. And the kid is leading you towards where you believe the vault is. You know where your guys' main objective is. And the kid's been slowly guiding you towards it. At least that's what it roughly sees. And randomly, when you are all in front of this, what appears like this building, and when you go to look around where the vault should be, it's the vault was located inside of a government building. You see the government building still standing there. Part of the roof is kind of fucked up. And you see an old tattered like flag that's barely hanging onto the side of the building, and like red. It's now faded red and gold filigree. It's hard to tell what the symbol is. And as you look at the building, all of a sudden, as if the building was ripped out from a 3D render, and all the streets and everything around it were deleted. You hear this distant kind of frequency rumble, and you're not really sure what it is. And do you want to delve deeper?
Yep.
Okay, you can use your 6th sense for this if you'd like. Okay, so what is going from using weird opening your brain to using your 6th sense look like in this sense? Like, how does your character reground yourself?
So usually when he's doing the weird thing, That's his healing ability. And then I think the Sixth Sense thing would just be kind of a deep breath, relaxation, and kind of a moment of just rest.
So do you think like it's like going almost back to reality, but still staying in the maelstrom?
At least some of the time.
Okay. So yeah, you do that where, you start getting that weird frequency and stuff like that, and you start taking a deep breath and calming down to avoid your brain running off in a direction that you don't want it to. And you see yourself, you see like the buildings start coming back into focus. There's streets again. Time is definitely slowed, but instead of a weird like frequency rumbling that you're getting a very light humming now, a very soft like musical humming, and it's coming from the government building. It's very echoey. It seems can't describe, eerie, I guess.
I take a glance at Half Pint to see what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we cut to you. Right out of the gate you hear that soft, eerie humming. What's weird for you is, can you pick one of the character moves you currently have with a S?
You know what? I'm going to do We Are One. Do I roll that? Do I need to roll it, or?
Yes, I do need you to roll that. Okay.
Alright, but all the stuff's actually showing. Critical to look that. Power, rage, and revenge. It's all you can do to do what you bear, but you can clearly just need to hold on. See clearly, just need to hold on. Performing the Go Agar on someone, the scene uses weird and fed. Go Agar on someone, they never choose. You do. I heal harm, but I forget something.
Right, and I forgot to mention before you had rolled
the imprint on me.
Yeah, the imprint. Sorry, we're gonna do a quick jump back. So when you were onto Doc Boo, there was the memory I was gonna pull up for that was, you remember distinctly, like you're sitting there at a table. You feel cold, but you feel hopeful. At some point someone is coming back or home or whatever. You're not sure. In front of you is another face. They're slightly taller than you. Their facial features are just gone, and you remember the sense of companionship or something, and that's the memory. And a memory you lose at this very moment when we are one. You no longer can remember what anyone besides Doc Boo looks like. You can no longer identify them out of a crowd.
So just like memory reset, I do not. If they appear in front of me, they're just a stranger once again.
Yep. The brief moment you see Sasha, whether through the mask, the stolen stories from Draco, the moment that the news ran by you, all that. Cabbage.
All right, cool.
So
I'll work with that.
Yeah, what ends up happening is, since this is Go Aggro, that works actually really good here. There's this sense of this hum that's coming from the beacon. You get the sense that Doc is there with you, and he is just staring straight at the beacon. And you get the sense that the mass is away. It is currently away. It is heading towards the beacon, and you feel your connection kind of waning. And it just basically says, what's the phrase I was going to use? It says reunite.
I'm going to make my way, see if I can get to the map. Just take off.
Yeah, so Doc Boo, you're looking down where shortstop's doing, and
I'm not there.
They're gone.
What the little bastard wanted me to see.
You see where he was standing, you see footprints in the snow leading right to the government building where you know the vault is in.
And where the musical humming is coming from.
Yes.
Oh, guess I must have spaced out for a minute. I follow after.
I love brain music.
Yeah, so let me, next would have been, I chopped up a couple things to make this easier, but we're gonna cut back to, Draco. So you and your gang have irrevocably taken the gate and the surrounding courtyard. Sasha and Zukov have been making short work. You're not quite sure where the doc went. He had a little group that he was going with, but we see you like walking, Texan, the fake Texan hat laid up, like you walking with a gun on your shoulder, walking through the gate, with one of your gang members in tow, and there's like a fire raging on one of the buildings nearby. There's like several guards hanging from nooses off of buildings, and now your gang is culminating in front of you, and you know that one of the objectives that you were given was you need to secure the power plant.
Secure. That's not one of the 4 things you sent me today.
Did I not?
No.
Make this house yours power?
No.
What the fuck did I send you?
The fuck did you send him?
Did you send this?
He sent me a dick pic. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, that's so weird. Why did it not copy the fucking...
Why do I have a picture of a Tic Tac?
I don't know why it took the fucking power off of it.
Oh, okay. That.
Like, what the fuck is this? Like, all I did was copy paste. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing I know where the powerhouse is, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And since you're an oldie, there's 2 places, but the one that they wanted you to go for was the one that uses the fuel oil. There's the vault is also supplying the town with power, but your objective is the fuel oil power plant.
Oh, it's a good thing I didn't blow up that fuel oil line.
I really wanted you to, because I'm like, the lights go out.
Alrighty, I'm gonna make a little speech to all my gang members here. Now the day has finally come to take back my home and make it our own. We are going to, I'm not a really good speech maker in life, so this is kind of lame, but imagine much better speech. We have just knocked on the door. Now it's time to kick in their teeth. Also, not very good Russian. Let's see.
You tell him, boss.
Yeah. What did I name that guy? All right, the guy with the power armor, Igor.
Yep.
I need you to knock on the door on the power station.
He looks and giggles like, power armor, power station. I get it. Good one, boss.
Still
And,
cookies.
Yeah, so y'all start making your way towards the power station.
Oh yeah, we're the angry mob.
Yeah, so your gang and a couple stragglers from your convoy.
I'll leave like 3 people behind just so I can stay in contact with the rest of the group.
Okay. So one of your people or one of the stragglers?
Stragglers. I mean, like,
Okay.
no, I'm saying like one of my gang a couple of my gang members to stay with the main people here in the courtyard.
Okay.
So we can stay
I was
in
just saying that
contact.
there are stragglers following you that aren't part of your gang. So I was asking you, do you...
Oh, okay. So meat shields.
Yeah, you can leave behind people, but they might not do your job correctly that you want them to do.
No,
Or you
they're
can
my-
leave behind
my-
a gang,
Yeah,
but you're
my
weakening your gang.
Yes, my gang members.
Gotcha. Hey, slightly reduced numbers. Gotcha.
I mean, I have plenty of things to soak up extra bullets.
Anyway,
I'm surrounded by plenty of bullet sponges.
all warm. Yeah, so you guys start stomping your way to the power plant.
Mhm.
The power plant was not meant to be defended in this way, but they have erected a barrier with a flamethrower turret.
Okay.
There are actually 2 of them. One is in the middle of the door, and one it appears to be mounted in a building to your right in like a small little bunker.
See, the first thought I had in my head was, this is a fuel oil power plant, correct?
Yes.
Douse the flamethrower nest in gas and dare them to set off their flamethrowers.
Pilot lights might set off the gas.
Oh well.
How would you like to how are you throwing gas?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that because they're going to have some type of transfer system for loading it and unloading the fuel. So there's going to be pumps, there's going to be hoses.
Mm-hmm.
So, a quite literal fire brigade, I guess.
You're gonna go find
Just
like a
get the-
faucet and just start filling up buckets and
Well, no, like
just grab some?
there's going to be hoses for moving from one container to another.
What you?
Hook
How
the
you
end of the
read
hose up, and
What's a roll for like? If I'm lucky, give me shit. Do you have any barter left?
barter.
Do you have any barter?
No.
Do you care to start off any barter you don't know about?
How would I know if I started off with something I didn't know about?
I might have told you to not worry about it. Check your player book.
The Chopper playbook. Let's expand this out a bit.
Muted.
Looks like you'd have oddments worth 2 barter at least.
Okay, you have 2 barter. If you want to just have fire hoses that you just find, you can use up one of your barter.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so you hook up to some lines because the lines are everywhere. Though your gang is not tech savvy, so
I mean, it is a hose.
how about you roll your gang to do this? What would this be? Seize by force. I think seems like a fair thing to use. Your gang uses on the fuel oil lines.
Where is that?
It's under battle moves because they're not subtle.
Oh, yes. Seize by force. There it is. Alrighty. Success.
Nice. So, yeah, okay. Go ahead and you choose 3. You inflict terrible harm. You suffer very little harm. You take undeniable control of the situation, or you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy. There's variations you could do too. So pick 3, and then we'll do harm. Should warn you, fire is really good against people.
Yeah, fire is really good against people. I'm going to say I'm going to inflict terrible harm. I am going to take definite and undeniable control of it, and I'm going to frighten the shit out of anybody defending this station.
What's the first one again?
Inflict terrible harm.
Okay, so terrible harm, take definite control, and
Scare the shit out of people.
scare the shit out of them. Terrible harm, take definite control. This. Okay. And this is a medium-sized force. What do we say your gang is?
Medium.
Okay, so it's medium versus medium, so 0 extra. You're doing additionally 1 harm. They are currently dug in, so they have 2 armor. Your gang has 2 armor.
2 armor.
And you're using the fire turrets in you're dousing the fire turrets in fuel oil. Yeah, they're 3. So it's 3 for you plus 1. So you deal 2 harm to them, and your gang takes 1 harm. So somebody gets caught on fire. But tell me how this looks. Like there's 2 turrets, and your guys are hosing them down. Like how does this look? Is it 2 sets of guys doing this, or 1 set?
I'm going to say that there's going to be a group. We're going to use the stragglers as a distraction to let us get time to set up the hoses and drag them over there and set up. And honestly, I don't really care that much about the stragglers because I'm more partial to the gang.
You know what? Go ahead and remove the 1 harm. Go ahead and remove the 1 harm. Those are the 3 people who died.
All right.
It's fine. There was some ideas I had about how this is gonna end, and you just keep fucking hammering in the one idea that I had.
I imagine that there's like a belt-driven or otherwise mechanical pump nearby that they take a skidoo. They put the
I'm gonna take the track off
on the
and just kick that up to
and kick up
11.
the pump to speeds it's not supposed to go at, and just pump gas on them.
That is
pretty fucking great.
I love it.
Yep.
As they're using the flamethrowers to kill the bait, they're gonna be roasted alive.
You know what's great is that the flamethrower turrets only have so much distance. So they're trying to scare you like, yeah. And like and there's a couple pot shots being taken from you and them. Nothing's really connecting. And then y'all are like getting this skidoo ready behind a wall. And then one of you gets on it, like grabs another skidoo to drag it out. One of the dudes on like the holding the 2 feet to holding the fire hose, and just like drive out and just douse them. And as they're fucking around trying to scare you, it catches fire, and you have like the 3 stragglers who are like running up to like try to throw something into the bunker. They get doused in the fuel oil, and then like the flame turret goes and like it all ignites, and at some point the pressure that is pushing out from the fire hose is just enough where it won't feed back into the hose, and you're just shooting fire now, and it's just coating and dusting this whole area in glorious flame. Do you stop after a while? Like, how long do you just keep dousing these two positions?
I can imagine we need the power station intact.
Yeah.
And it'll get to a point where, well, there's not really going to be much resistance left, and we still need to get inside. So, yeah, well, I didn't really think of a way to turn the hose off.
Just
Mosquito in reverse.
stop the pump and fire will go out.
Yeah, well,
Your gang's a little your gang's enjoying this a little too much. They're starting to get out of hand and like lighting the nearby buildings on fire. They're not quite responding to your calls.
what skill do I need to keep these bastards under?
I have character.
There's what?
You have a character move actually.
Yeah, because there's back awful. That's the word I'm looking for. Alrighty. Let's see how well we do. Critical success. Fucking said stop it.
Do what you want. They don't fight back. You don't have to be one of them. Otherwise, you must. So just because it seems like it's apt, do you still make an example out of them one, or just no?
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay. Yeah. So you just they're like, stupid Baldur's Gate level of idiocy. Like, I kicked him in the head, tell you he's dead. Just spewing fire everywhere, causing havoc, and you just run up and yell stop. Correct?
It didn't, just fucking stop it. I said.
Yeah, and they like, you hear like the pump shut off, and the fire like spurts out and lands on the ground in front of them, and they're like, "Sorry, boss."
Can't live in a house if we burn it down.
And then
I
like
pull
they all
out
look
my-
around, like they're all kicking their feet, like, "Oh man!"
I just
Yell
had
at.
I'm gonna like take my crowbar off my belt. Let's go beat the shit out of him.
And everyone's like,
I just picture just like, get back in order, or else I'm gonna reorder all of you with my boot.
But yeah, like they're doing the whole now crazy Texan thing where they're shooting their guns off now. They're all running into the power plant. They're running ahead, and you're like just fucking crunch through the snow. And the camera's like on a side angle, so we see you like go from right frame to left frame, and there's just like the three, rebels who are with you, the scragglers, are just charred remains, like against the building, just walking on by.
I'll tip my hat at him.
Damn.
The guy in power armor is just shoulder ramming through doors.
Yeah, that's the next scene. Thank you,
It's
Andrew.
like the juggernaut in the.
Yeah, it's literally the Juggernaut scene. Thank you, Andrew. Just like, it's the camera's inside, and you hear the guards like inside, like whispering in like Russian. There's like subtitles. It's like, what's that sound we heard? What was the cheering? Should we leave? And just like, boom, just fucking dude, just like slow running through the fucking hallway in power armor.
It's clobbering time.
And they're you want to go ahead and just use your gang as a weapon on small gang, medium versus small. What is that, +2 or +1? I forget. It's just +1.
Medium versus small +1.
What am I doing? Like aggro?
Use
Charm.
combat, aggro, whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'll just go aggro.
Okay.
It is much better to be lucky than anything.
Knocking it out of the park.
They have to choose: force your hand and suck it up, cave and do what you want. They do what you want. They don't know they've never seen your gang before. So like, what happens when these like 6 guards at the end of this hallway who are just ready to fight all of a sudden are like they throw their guns, they see this dude running in power armor, they just like hold up their hands. One of them's got like the night vision on, like ready for the power to get cut, and their like hands are up and they're like, don't stop.
I'm gonna come out of there. They'll crowd apart. I'll just walk through here. Can I have spurs? Just because.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'll have spurs. That little ching ching as you're walking through. Oh, he's gonna like take the night vision thing off the one guy. He's nice.
Yeah.
So.
We make them here.
We're the nerds that run this facility. Yeah, this particular.
They crook their head. Nerds.
Smart people who run the power plant.
Yeah. They tell you directions, like, you go down the hall there. Oh, careful of the sentry turret. You can turn it off by doing this. Like, they are fully compliant. Just like, you do this. This is where they are. This is the guy's name. And third door on the left. left is a bathroom, you know.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're very talkative. You are. So, hey, Igor, pick him up and take him with us.
Wait, what? And just like picks him up, and then the other 5 are just like arms up, you know, behind their head. Your gang surrounding them, and then you start walking down the hall.
Yeah, I'll leave the gang to decide what to do with those 5. I only need one to give me directions.
Okay. So yeah, you start going down the hall. You hear some laughing, hooting. You hear a couple gunfires, a couple yelling, and you get down to where there was like another guard, but he sees you, this power armor, holding one of his buddies on his shoulder, and he's like, nope, fuck that. And he like just runs. He's running down the hall.
I let him run.
Turns the corner. He's gone.
He'll spread fear.
Yeah, and you get to the double doors where like there's the main plant, and Igor kicks it in, and you see one other guard who sees you and decides not to run. He pulls out a combat knife. He's right up in your face.
I'm standing next to a guy in power armor with a gang of people behind me, and he pulls out a knife.
Yeah, he didn't have his gun as a next to him. He saw you, reacted to the enemy, and reacted immediately.
I have made a mistake.
Yeah, this is like the playing Skyrim after you like, you know, kill dragons. You're wearing full dragon armor with ebony weapons, and a guy's like, all right, give me all your money. I got you like a fish. He's got like a bone knife and leather armor.
All right, have you guys seen anything about Helldivers?
A little bit, yeah, you know that.
Okay, there's a scene where a Helldiver comes down in a pod, lands right next to a Devastator, gets out, shoots the Devastator 3 times, and the Devastator just decks him and sends him flying.
I'm assuming Devastator's a really dangerous robot.
They're about twice the size of a normal human being,
Oh, okay.
And they can be irritating.
and have one hell of a wallop.
Okay. So yeah,
I'm trying to find what I need to roll to basically intimidate the shit out of this guy. Can't think of what it is.
aggro?
Go aggro?
Yeah, it's
Or go aggro.
You could use seduce or manipulate too. Yeah, I think it's like, where is it?
That's
Lay down and close eyes, I make it quick.
You don't even have a name tag.
Yeah, seduce or manipulate.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. See how success.
Son of a bitch.
I don't just roll through.
Both, if they go along with you, oh wait, no, that's for NPCs. NPCs, they go along with you unless something until fact, or and they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance and collaboration or evidence first. So what do you do? What do you say? How do they react?
I'm gonna look at him with, you know, basically, obviously the gang all behind me, backing me up. And you need to read the room, lad. I'm here to take over. This is my power station now. If you want to be a good little boy, you want to bring me whoever is in charge of running this machine down here, I'd be much obliged and more inclined to let you stay.
He looks you up and down. What do you think? Does he like drop the knife, or does he like put the knife away, salute, and like fuck like?
I don't think he'll salute. I don't think he'll salute.
Or is he just out of respect?
I think he's gonna do it because he's not stupid.
Respect.
Okay. Yeah, respect. So yeah, he's gonna look at the power.
Maybe he respects, you know, those in charge that are the ones that have the power and the strength to rule.
Yeah,
And
that's what he
obviously,
does.
This is what we
Yeah,
got.
so he sheathes his knife, walks over, grabs his weapon, and he like slings it, and he starts walking over, and he's yelling commands to people who are standing around. And there's like a couple people in like workers' coats and garments. Looking around worried, and one guy comes down from a ladder, and the guy you were talking to grabs him by the scruff of his neck and drags him over to you and throws him in front of you.
I can imagine he like tosses him and like goes down and he's like on his hands and knees in front of me. Not necessarily like groveling, but he's just kind of like thrown to the ground.
Yeah, and he's like, listen, I just do my job. I don't want anything to do with these bandits.
Drake is going to kind of squat down at him. Now, here's something we can agree on. I don't really want anything to do with this bandits, and honestly, I don't really want to run a power plant. But this is my home now, and luckily for you, I am hiring. Would you like a job working in this particular power station?
Yes.
Perfect. So, you're gonna bring me to the control board, and I'm gonna tell you what we need to do.
Yeah, so one of your gang members comes up beside you and he says, it's good timing, boss. You just got a radio from Stukov, and it's 8:14. Do we want to go one more hour, or do we want to end it here?
Give me 2 minutes to get you an answer. I'll be right back.
Oh, wait. Andrew, intermediate music, or intermission music. Go.
Ding, 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 oh, ding, 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 ding.
I've never had Andrew do it that long.
I was kind of hoping for Deadly Premonition.
I mean, I can see how well it comes through.
Oh, I also updated Shoop's sheet with all the weird modified moves.
Speaking of music, I haven't heard any music that we were used to playing through the forge.
Okay, I'm in for another hour. Be away from the keys for a second.
Okay. Stump, what was that? Speaking of weird music, we used to do what through what?
Didn't we used to have like music playing through Foundry?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to turn it on.
Great. That's all fine.
I can
Start
add it
session
in
over.
post on the recording at least.
Nope, gotta scrap everything. Start session over.
All right. Shit.
There we go.
I also added little notes, like in if your thing was a success, you get like special bonuses on the roll.
Hey, thank you. All right. Yeah, so since Simon's going to be back, we're going to cut over to Stukov. Actually, we're going to cut over to Sasha first. So, Sasha, you've, there was like an internal courtyard that has a, it's basically considered the main command and control center. And there is another gate. This is a metal gate, and there is a gaggle of rebels with accoutrements and stuff like that, but it's just around the corner. You know Stukov is nearby, but you know one of your objectives is to take control over this command station. This command station, from what information you gather too, is that this is where the fuel oil controls are. So first things first, getting through the gate.
And you said there was like rebels on the other side?
No, there's rebels with you. Like you have a small gaggle of rebels, your tank, Stukov, his two guys, and that's the force you have to work with. There's a single guard tower, been taking pot shots, appears to be a sniper, so they're not firing very fast.
Let's see. Can I lay down fire on the sniper's roost?
Like you want to use the LMG?
Yeah, and I want to use that to allow people to, if I don't hit them with lay down fire, then allow people to get through the gate or take out the sniper.
Okay. So that is a suppressing fire, which is an actual move. So you can do that.
Said suppressing fire or lay down fire?
Lay down fire.
Yep. But is because I'm using my vehicle, does that count as a +2? Or that doesn't affect the roll anyway. That's just the harm.
Yeah, that's just harm. So, unfortunately, you on a miss choose one. You provide covering fire, let another character back freely. You provide supporting fire. Another PC +1 to their own battle move. You provide, so basically you can either help the gaggle of people, you can help Andrew's crew or Stukov's crew, or you can keep the enemy from advancing, or you can take an opportunity shot inflicting harm, but need one harm on an enemy within your reach.
Is there anything like Gaggle would like to do, or Zukov?
I mean, Zukov knows that he is here because he needs to get into the command center, and he knows how to handle rerouting.
Right, but the sniper tower is separate from the command center.
I mean, the sniper tower is inside. It's a walled area. Inside is two buildings, and one of those buildings is the command center. One is the fuel oil control center, and then there's a guard tower on the three corners, or three triangularly. So one is next to the gate, and two are in either back corner. You are currently facing the side that has the gate, so there's one tower that is visible to you.
I guess I'd like to. What's the difference between providing covering fire and stopping my enemy from taking a turn, basically?
If you provide covering fire, it means that anyone who wants to move can move freely, but they can act against you still. But if you were to keep them from taking a turn, it means that your parties cannot move freely, but you keep them from taking a turn. It's a dynamic situation.
Yeah, I'm allowing another character to move or act freely. So they can be if I took an opportune shot. Would that just be exchanging arm?
Yes. And nobody would be able to move freely.
Oh, but unless they were killed.
Yes.
I think I'd like to do that.
Okay. So they're not gonna be able to hurt you, so I'm not gonna worry about that. But they are in a armored tower, and they have 2 armor, and you're already dealing 1 less harm. So can you do more than 3 damage?
Let's see.
I just looked. The IS series makes no mention of the experimental smoke screen that the Abrams had.
I have 3 harm on my mounted machine guns, plus it would only be 2 harm if I was using the vehicle as a weapon. The machine gun wouldn't be V harm, would it? Because
that machine gun can cause V harm. This is a building though, but you could do damage to the building.
Okay, well that would be a different roll though.
Oh, we're just passing harm right now. There's no weeds here. You're either if you can't do more damage than you can deal, then you probably should pick something else.
So I'm doing take backsies?
You can, because if you know you can't do that much damage.
Yeah, because I can't, I'm not using the vehicle as a weapon, I'm using a weapon on the vehicle. So I'm not like ramming the thing, so it'll be 3 harm, it would be nothing. And I would like to, let's just pick a different choice on that. Provide covering fire, allowing another character to move or act freely then. Like to have to pick a single character?
Character being either the Galagola people or Andrew. And his 2 people.
I guess Andrew.
Okay. Zukov, you know your objective is that you need to get to the pump control station in that command center. There's currently a gated fortress. The gate is made out of metal, and the tank is currently laying down fire from the sniper tower. That's going to allow you to get up to the gate, or at least up to the fortress. And you have +1 on any battle move you want to take in this scene.
See, are there any buildings near this fortress?
Not inside. I'm assuming you mean not inside?
Yes.
Yes, there are.
I don't suppose any of them have collapsed in a way that create a bridge over the wall.
Read a sitch. Yeah, they wouldn't leave a bridge over, but maybe you could find something that might be jumpable. Go ask 3.
What should I be on the lookout for?
There is each tower has at least 1 sniper that you can see. There are flame turrets near the gate that you can see, and there does appear to be a sound inside the fortress walls that concerns you. You think it might be another one of those flying metal machines, judging by the sound.
Great. Where's my best escape route / way in / way past?
Okay. Your best escape route is, like you were saying with the buildings, if you use the buildings as cover up to the fortress, with the cover of the LMG, that is your best way in, best way out. The way past it, if we're avoiding the metal gate altogether, there is a building that gets pretty close, that you think if you spent a little bit of time, you might be able to either get something you can jump over by yourself, or make something like find a ladder that you could walk across. But you would have to have the cover. You would have to have someone covering you from the other sniper tower.
I see. And then finally, what's my enemy's true position?
There are definitely 3 snipers. There's 1 guy on the wall who's closest to the gate. It appears that inside the fortress, there seems to be a lack of people. Like their posts are kind of diminished.
I see. So really, my only threats here are the snipers, the flame turrets, and that 1 dude. And possibly that strange noise from inside.
Yes. If you got up to the buildings, you might be able to see what the strange noise is, but you're pretty sure it was just that thing that got blown up over your convoy.
All right, sure. I'll go up to the buildings, and I'll see if I can use the buildings as cover to get closer. Maybe even find a way to bridge a gap to the wall.
Yeah, so you ride along the housing, and the tank is keeping your cover. You get get up to a point where you believe you might be able to make some good, but we're gonna cut back to Sasha. Sasha, you suppress this sniper. What's the next move you're gonna do?
And you said there's multiple sniper towers, but there's only like one that's like currently...
One that's currently visible to you. If you were to round the corner completely, you'd probably get at least vision of the other one that's closer to Zukov.
Right. Torn between like trying to stay and protect the group that's here, or do they follow Zukov?
No, the gaggle of people are still behind your tank waiting.
Okay,
You still have the main battle tank cannon.
I only have one ammo for it.
Right, but the boss killer potion at the end of the game, when you roll the credits, isn't useful to you later.
Well, I don't know what the boss is. Like, is the sniper tower the boss?
Your main objective is to take control over this facility, so...
Right. And do I know if this thing would, like, explode and cause, like, massive collateral damage from the tower?
All you know is what Zukov told you.
And what are you telling me again?
It should work, and it should work good.
Okay, then I'll just shoot the fucking tower.
Which tower? The one you're suppressing or the other one? You want to come out a bit and then fire at the other one, or do you want to just destroy the one you're suppressing? The one you're suppressing is currently near the gate.
I think I'll shoot the one that's near Zukov so he can actually get into that stuff, and I don't know. And then after I'll work on the other one if I still have time.
Work on it how? You mean with the LMG?
Yeah, we'll see how the other tower goes first.
Okay. Yeah, you're well within optimal firing range. You fire the main battle tank's cannon, and we get this scene where you get the sniper in the tower who's being suppressed, and he's yelling into a radio, yelling at somebody who is in the vertibird. They have a fucking tank. And the guy in the vertibird says, "Don't care, delay them, we're almost done." And the sniper dude goes up and he's like trying to like take a shot and he can't. And he radios over the whole thing. He's like, "Anytime now, any of you want to actually get that anti-tank cannon out of the front gate would be great." And the other sniper in the tower in the back, it says, "I can't get any shot off." And then all of a sudden, we see through his scope, like he sees somebody move in the building to the right, and he's like, "Hang on, I got someone." And you see it's Zukov and his two guys, and there's like a shot that's taken. But Zukov and his two guys like get in and are more tucked. He's like, "There's someone in the building on the right." And then all of a sudden, the sniper goes to like look back where the tank was, and the tank is now moved out. And perfectly in line with the center crosshairs of the sniper's reticle is the cannon. And he says, "Fuck!" And there's we see like a cutaway of the tank's shell as it like rotates and spins through the barrel, flies straight out of the cannon, pressure releases, and the capsule separates, and that shell goes straight towards that tower. And the tower is there, and then boom, shatters into thousands of pieces as it rains down on the vertibird. And we cut to the guy in the other sniper tower. He's like, "Nope, fuck this, we're leaving." And he starts running down the staircase in the tower. And Sasha, you can hear the guy in the LNG says, "I'm pretty sure he just went down the tower. I don't see him up there anymore." And we cut to Zukov. And Zukov, like you get shot at, and you're like behind a wall, and like all of a sudden you see something really fast like fly past the building, and then just boom.
I did say it would work good. Press our advantage. Can I see over the wall?
Yes, you can see the vertibird, you can see the pump control station, and you can see the sniper tower that was originally giving you problems before you could get up to this point. The door slams open, and a guy is starting to book it towards the vertibird.
Okay, I will try to disable the vertibird.
Just launch a grenade at it?
Aiming for the engines.
Grenade or gun?
Grenade.
Okay. It can't really do harm back at you. So I'd say seize by force. Sounds like what you want to do?
Sure.
Try to see, because you want to disable it, right?
Yes.
I guess go aggro or seize by force. It's really up to you. Both fall into what you want to do. Just different wording.
Yeah, I suppose I'll do seize by force. Oops.
Okay.
Well, exchange harm still happens.
Yeah, we'll say the guard, in the sense that you fail, right? We'll say the guard who's running will take a shot at you, but you can choose one still first.
I see. I take definite and undeniable control of it.
Yep. So you disable the rotor bird. You fire at it, and one of the rotors gets, like, you fire an air burst above it, and it detonates so that the shrapnel all of a sudden fucks the two propellers or its vertibird engines, VTOL engines, and you start hearing it spin down. But the guy who is running sees where it fired from and takes a shot at you. So we'll say you will not be able to exchange harm to him, but he will to you. And what's your armor?
I have one.
Okay, you take 1 harm because he does 2.
Perfect.
Okay. And what are you doing next? The dude takes a shot at you and he continues to change his direction. He's running towards the command center now.
Right. Well, I guess I'm pinned for the time being.
Oh no, that guy who shot at you is running out towards.
He just took off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'm trying.
Go ahead.
I have someone essentially stand guard while me and the other guy will look for. Actually, I have names for these dudes. Yeah. As part of my during my upgrade, I decided to, my level up. I decided to upgrade my workshop. I chose skilled labor.
Nice. Okay. Perfect. That's what these guys are.
So I named 3 people.
Okay. There's 3 with you then.
Perfect. I'll have Krakus stand guard. Well, Rickett and I go look for something. Sorry, I'll have Hammer or Krakus stand guard while Rickett and I go look for a bridge.
Okay. Back to Sasha. So the tower is now no longer firing, and there's a metal gate still, and you have a gaggle of rebels muted.
I was looking at my rolls, but how do I just run down a gate?
I imagine you would just do go aggro, because it says when you do when you use a vehicle as a weapon, and then it specifies sucker someone, go aggro, or make a battle move, and then you would do where is it? Building. So structural damage, cosmetic damage, arm. Yeah.
And like all the road war moves are cool. Like plus cool. I mean, yep. I am using my vehicle. Oh.
Okay, so they can choose one, or choose one. So it's the building. They barricade themselves insecurely. Like,
Guess I need to give it more gas.
I do believe you still exchange harm. Yeah, it does. You still exchange harm. So it's not, I suppose it's a building, so it would at least do some harm. So I'd say it does 1, but that doesn't go past your armor. How much damage do you do? 2, Michelle?
Yep, do.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah.
I don't think a gate counts as a full building, though.
It's still a structure.
Right.
And I'd say this has at least fair health. So yeah, you ram into it, and you keep the main battle, you don't have the main battle tank cannon straight forward, so you can actually ram it. And you ram it, and it takes a good dent. And we cut over to Zukov. To find a ladder thing, let's just say you do find one. Instead of rolling for it, seems a bit unfun. Yeah, so you do find it, and you guys set it up so you can get onto the wall. Hammer and Krakus, yes. You come back, and they're taking fire from that one lone guy on the wall.
Right. I see if I can get a second vantage point while he's distracted with them.
Yeah, you can. You can see him clearly. You don't think he sees you.
Sure, I suppose I'll take an airburst shot.
Okay. Yeah. We'll say exchanging harm is fair. But yeah, go ahead and either... Is the idea to kill him, or is it to get him to run away?
The idea is to kill him.
Okay, so probably single combat then. Okay. 7 and 9. Choose one.
I suffer little harm.
Okay, yeah. So you come up over the landing where this blown out window, and there's a bit of a crack in the floor. So you stand up on it and you go to aim, and the dude sees you, just too late, and he goes to take a shot at you, and it's a glancing shot, and you go thump, and that's 3. The airburst. These guys have 2 HP, and he takes 1 damage because he has 1 armor. Wait, no, that does 3 damage, does it?
Just 3 versus air or flying vehicles.
Right, and they're not in a condensed space. So we'll say 2. So he takes 1. Yeah, he takes 1 damage. He goes to fire at you. Like I said, he doesn't get it because you take 1 less harm. And he tries to back off, and he tries to make his way back to the gate where there's like a ladder to go down. Sasha, you're back. Do you want to ram the gate again?
How is the gate being closed? Like, what's securing it?
It is a slid gate it basically slides open 2 ways, one to the left, one to the right.
Does it have a master lock?
No.
I'm just surprised the tank can't take it down.
I didn't say it can't take it down.
Right. I guess I just don't know what the rules are, because in this system it was saying like you don't even track the harm.
It said you did though.
No, it says
when a building or structure suffers 1 to 3 harm, cosmetic damage, 4 to 6 harm, severe cosmetic damage, 7 to 8 harm, structural damage, 9 harm or more, destruction.
Don't bother tracking a building's harm on countdown. Shooting a building 3 times with your 3 harm shotgun doesn't add up to 9 harm and make the building collapse.
Right, it's talking about it's talking about gunshots and stuff. But you actually
V harm weapons.
Yeah,
anything that can cause V harm, I imagine, would cause harm to a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll try again.
This system is bizarre with its wording.
Yes.
It almost seems like the gate would be made out of like steel girders or something.
It is like a actual steel metal door.
I was thinking it was just like a chain link fence door thing.
No, it's like an actual like Cold War door, big metal.
I feel like okay.
So you can do what does seize by force help?
I can control the gate.
I would do seize by force because you can do additional harm when you do that. Still choose 1.
More harm.
Okay. Yeah, so you hit it, and you dent it. It is now it's dented enough and broken enough that the you can get through, but the gaggle of rebels can.
Okay.
That's sufficient to you, or do you want to keep ramming until it's completely open, or do you want to back off and let them through?
I guess I'll let them through.
Okay, you back off, let them through. Back to Stukov. That guy is starting to climb down the ladder now. Do you want to direct your 3 to take a shot at him?
Yes.
Okay. The most they're gonna do is 2 harm to get with all 3 of them shooting at him.
That's
So
fine.
you can also do something like seize by force or single combat. It's up to you.
I'm already at 2 harm.
Okay. So what are you doing then?
Huh? Oh, I thought they were taking a shot.
Right. I mean, the idea is that because you don't have a gang.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I suppose. If he's just running, I guess we could press our advantage.
Okay. So you want to just start getting over? You can see that Sasha has damaged the gate quite a bit, and there's a gaggle of rebels waiting outside.
Oh, good. I was just about to head in and do something about that.
Okay. So you and your 3 cross over onto the wall, and you see the guy who's climbed the ladder is now just booking it towards the command center. Sasha's pulled away, and now rebels are starting to pour in through the gate. There's 9 of them.
Perfect. Assess this new courtyard, or assess their fortress, I guess.
Read a stitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Nice. Ask 3.
Alrighty. What should I be on the lookout for?
The crew of the Vertibird, because they're an unknown.
Gotcha. What's my enemy's true position?
The one guy who ran away from the other guard tower's already gotten inside. The one guy that you let run is likely about to get gunned down by the gaggle of rebels, and you're unsure of. There's at least 1 person in the Vertibird, but you don't know how many more.
Gotcha. Who's in control here?
You honestly believe the Vertibird pilot, whoever's on the Vertibird.
Gotcha. I tell my crew to keep their focus on the Vertibird.
Okay. Cool. You need to control the pump station, which is just below you. Did you want to hop down onto the building and then just roll off and start going into there?
Sure.
Okay. So,
For close quarters, I will pull out my 5-inch wrench.
right. Let's see here. I think so. You roll onto the top of this building and come off of it. You're at the front door of the control room, and you crack open the door, and right there is a guard with a Markov. What you do?
I backed off.
Okay. Try to bait him out.
Sure.
All right. Bait trap.
Bait him out. I'll have the rebels deal with him.
And with beta trap, don't you roll something else?
Yes.
What you roll?
Weird.
Okay. Modified it for you.
I already did.
Oh, I looked at the wrong person. Okay. Damn. All right. Choose to.
I draw them out, and I don't expose myself to extra risk.
Yep. So otherwise, they are wary on alert.
Yes.
So they jump out, and they're on the open, and they're swinging around trying to look where you are. So yeah, you can go ahead for an attack then.
I get to attack, or the rebels get to attack?
Oh, your hope was that they handle it.
Yeah.
Give me a seduce. Like basically, you're trying to draw their attention, right? Let's see. I feel like seduce or manipulate is good enough. Help or interfere. Yeah.
Or act under fire?
Well, act under fire. Yeah, that's a good one. Act under fire for seeing if you can. Hard bargain outcome. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, do that. Okay, another partial. You flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. An ugly choice would be you can either suffer 2 harm, or 3 people can die from the rebel gang. This guy will. We'll say this guy will die either way.
I guess I'll suffer 2 harm.
Okay. Yeah. So they go to start laying down fire, and the guy is. You're caught in the crossfire a tiny bit and hit with a round, but the guy tries firing at you and nicks you, and you finish him off. Hey, you heading into the control station?
Yeah.
Okay. Sasha, you want to open the gate up more, or do you want to get out of the tank, or you want to use the tank as like Overwatch for the facility?
I think Overwatch.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and get that roll up. Zukov, you was that? Okay. So just think of what you choose. Zukov, you enter into the control room, and in there is valves for all sorts of stuff. There's valves for the fuel oil to the power plant, to all the flame turrets in localized districts, specialized districts, fuel rotation. And you remember that you have a radio, and you're supposed to call around to your group and ask them if they need certain stuff turned off or on. That's like your position here. That's what you're doing.
Right. I suppose I'll radio.
Yep. So at this point, Dukov, you get a call from your guys, asking if you're at the power station, and the engineer there tells you that the fuel oil was cut off from the power plant when they saw that you were gonna take it over. They said that it was overridden by the master control station at the command center. That's what the engineer tells you, and then you get radioed in from Zukov asking, "Hey, what do you need the fuel oil routed to?"
In master control station, waiting orders for changes.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Where do you want the powder going?
You will have to figure that out at the moment. Or you don't have to figure that out at the moment. You just want to control it. But right now, the fuel is taken offline.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, Grease Monkey. Turn the gas back on.
To where?
Not you. No, not you. Wait. I'm confused. I have the people that I have, air quote, liberated.
Yes,
they're the ones running.
They told you that the fuel oil there isn't running.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought, okay. So I need to restore the fuel oil to...
Yeah, and Zukov called to let you know that he has control over it. Like, perfect timing.
Perfect timing. All the things we could do with this place. Now I need to open up the bunker, correct?
Let me look at your...
How do I do that from here?
Yeah, you would have to funnel power to the vault, which is currently, the power plant is offline. So I'm assuming you tell Zukov to let the oil flow. The well starts flowing, and the engineers say, okay, what do you want us to do? And you say, power the vault.
Yeah, power the vault, yes. If you would be so kind, I would be much obliged.
So then we cut to Dokbu and Milo to end all the session. You two are in the lobby of this government building. There's newspapers that litter the ground. It almost seems like this place hasn't really been touched in a while. And you find yourself in a quiet area. Like it's, the 6 people are following you around, Doc, and the Milo are just standing in this lobby.
Is Milo the kid?
Milo's the kid, yes. And you know the way to the vault. You remember it. And, I should mention, sorry, it's dark here. Like the lights are off.
So I'm thinking about the directive you gave me a little bit ago. Do I think that is what I encountered, or do I not?
That is definitely what you encountered. I'm breaking up the things you're getting. So here's, so I didn't want to reveal too much to you. Here's your next one.
I don't think I have a good sense of what that is.
Right.
But let's see. I don't know if I have a light. Do I have a light?
Yeah. I'd say you probably have like, I don't know if you've seen them, those old school army ones, like the L ones, really heavy ones with like batteries in them.
Okay, well, I'll light it up and start making my way towards the vault.
Milo, again, the mass feels distant. And anytime you try and like communicate or commune, you just keep hearing the same word, reunite.
I say to Milo, oh, there you are, since he vanished before.
You take a little, you look at my face, and I'm giving a little concern, kind of looking around the room.
I'm an idiot.
What exactly is my, am I also like, I can't see darkness?
Yeah, give me a moment. I'm an idiot, missed an entire paragraph. Dokbu, you enter into the government building, as I described before. It's dark, it's dingy. There is the central greeting place, and behind the desk is Milo, just looking around. And the only reason you can tell it's him is there is a couple outer windows in this lobby that are just dimly lighting the place. There's sunrise that's happening in about an hour, but it's still pretty dark out. And you can see him looking around, and then Shoop taken away from there. Sorry. And you said it is dark. It is dark to you, yes.
Yeah, I have a look of concern, worry, and I'm not as soon as you actually say something to me, I kind of jump and it's I need to keep looking. And do I remember where the beacon is? Do I gotta go down or up?
The rough direction it's down.
I'll actually look at Doc and I'll be like, I need to go down. How do I go down from here?
Yeah, follow me. I turn on my light, start my way towards the vault, and I tell the group, lights on.
Yeah, the 2 that have lights turn them on, and they kind of divvy out in their group format. That makes sense. The one of the guys is standing next to you says, Doc, I know you said not to worry about the kid, but it's really starting to freak us out.
Yeah, he's a freaky kid. He's all right, though. He's trying.
He's trying to do what exactly?
I'm not sure. Don't worry about it.
Okay. One has a tied flashlight to an AK. One has a fucking old school miner's lamp or lantern hat thing. And we get the scene where you guys are walking through. The camera's always in a dark place, but we see the light swaying over stuff. We see the dust collected. We do see that there's boot prints in the dust that show that there has been, signs of people coming in and out. You all make your way down a staircase, and slowly you, as Doc, you start. Are you leading or Milo leading?
I think it was me in this instance.
Okay. Yeah. So Doc, you're leading with a sawed-off shotgun, and we see you round a corner. And you look down with a light and you see there are at least one set of drag marks and 2 boot prints leading towards where you know the vault is.
Look sharp, guys. Might be unfriendly around here.
And yeah, you continue on towards the vault. You round into a utility room, and you go down the staircase, and you open up a pretty innocuous door. And on the other side of that door is, and the moment you open the door, the lights for the facility around you come online. And the spotlight that would, like, because we saw for a brief moment your lights were going over it, like the vault door, and it just has the word Vault Tech written in Cyrillic, and Robco, what would it be? Robco International on the bottom of it. And then where there would be a number for, as the people who are watching this would expect it to be, there's just a 3-dot rivet point where there's no number that's been assigned to it. And as your lights sway over it, the lights of this facility come on, spotlights illuminate the door, and over the radio you hear a crackle, as like we see the people looking around, and you, Doc, you hear over the radio, my grandfather told me you fuckheads would eventually return. It's about time you come home. I expect my property to be in good order. And we cut to black. All right, everyone. It's a session.